What's going on, everybody? Last night we had a viewer say, hey, why don't you put on a show shirt? Every time you do a show, you have a shirt that is on sale. So, we're going to do it. I Love Dummies shirt is on sale, 15% off, just for 2 hours. That's it. And I make pretty much nothing off that. I think I'm going to make 5% margin by the time it's all done. So I'll make like $1.75, and that's okay. But it's a good idea, gets people buying at the store. And we might even have like a cost savers club where if you like buy, I don't know, 5 shirts in a month, maybe get one free or something like that. We'll do that. We'll figure it out. But the I Love Dummy shirt, I'm wearing it along with the brand new Dumb Nation hat, which is exclusive to me unless people ask for it. It's all embossed, stitched beautifully, stretch fit cap, comfortable. So there we go. So Amy, welcome to the show. We got a good one tonight. This one will be fun.
Well, if I had known about the shirt, I would have worn my I Heart Dummy shirt.
I know. I'm sorry. But you know what? You're also wearing another shirt that people can get. Not 15% off, but if you're a part of the Dumb Club, you can. Yeah. So we'll figure it out. Welcome, everybody. That's a cool shirt.
I'm excited for tonight. So we have air conditioning again. Thank the Lord.
God, how long is power? Oh, well, we'll talk about it when we get back. It's not like I don't have the power.
Right.
Okay. How long were you out without air conditioning?
It went out. Is it a Sunday night or early Monday morning? I don't know. But it was only.
Was this because of the power issues or because the ball bearings went out or something?
It was some part. I have no idea. So Jason ordered the part and fixed it.
Thermostat.
It was, I don't know. We had air conditioning on the upstairs level, thank goodness, because we sleep there, and in the basement. So it was just the main floor. So we just didn't live on our main floor for a day and a half.
Ramon says, boonie hats? Dude, I'm not going to make one hat that's going to sell one time, right? I mean, people ask for tank tops, and I'm like, okay. And we sold 2. So, and one of them was my wife. So, it's like I do the best that I can. Either way, folks, I'm glad you have AC. I'm glad you're back. It's good to have you. Now on to the rest of the show. Be right back. Ames, do you want to check Wimkin and stuff for me by chance?
Yeah.
Wimkin and see if everyone's good thing.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, start offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
Good. Rumble is good.
Okay.
Yep.
Wimkin good?
Wimkin's good. Rumble's good. Do I need to check Twitter?
No, I think we're good. Yeah, our numbers are going up, so they're on Twitter for sure. Twitter's been outpacing Facebook lately, which is even better.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm like, honestly, if Facebook doesn't turn itself around, I'm done. I'm pulling my channel off Facebook. Yeah, I'll have memes and stuff, but I'm done doing the show on Facebook. They need to get their shit together. I'm done. I'm big enough now where I don't have to stick around with them, you know? So You know, we'll see. I don't know if that's 100% true, but maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. Anyway, here we go.
Hey, Matt, congratulations on your success, brother. And I really appreciate you giving, both sides, and just free speech, the opportunity to have a platform, dude.
Got it. You got it. Thanks for everything you've done for this country, Eli. I miss Eli now that he's like, a big guy and he doesn't have time for us little podcasts anymore since he was on Jocko and he was on the Sean Ryan show, which was a great. It just, I miss Eli. He's not my friend anymore. I don't understand. He doesn't call you and write and send flowers. We'll talk next time. Tell Jen hello, and I'll have this ready in a couple of hours, and you can share it and take a look. Thank you, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Bye-bye. The DUM Club, folks, we meet monthly. We have newsletters, member discounts. It's growing. We're getting put together. The gift boxes are going out on the 24th of July, I've heard, which is great for our gold members who are wondering. It's just a way for you to give back to the show, but also get something in return. I think it's better than most of these clubs that you see where you join and then you get nothing. At least we try to give you something. Go take a look at it. Find a package that's right for you, thedumclub.com, and cancel anytime.
Dude, I got some news about Wimkin, Amy.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear.
So am I. You ready to hear?
Yes,
I don't think you're ready to hear, man. You're not showing the passion. I need to hear it from you. I need to feel it from you. I need to know that you're not a Hulkamaniac.
Snap into a Wimkin.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
All right.
Can't do it.
Roseanne Barr is officially now on Wimkin and is
that.
Yes. So Roseanne Barr is officially a part of the Wimkin channel. It makes me feel good because Jason said today, he's like, hold on, I got to use the right words because I don't want to make myself sound more important than I actually am. He told me like he let me know, and he's like, you can't say anything. I'm like, of course not. And then he says, holy shit, where is it? Oh, yeah. I said, hey, I'm excited for you, man. Thanks for telling me. He goes, sure thing. You're a partner in this. Oh, well, so that makes me feel good. So I guess I am. I'm a stockholder in Wimkin, and Amy's a stockholder in Wimkin. All the hosts are stockholders in Wimkin, and Amy Stanco is. So I guess we're officially excited. So Roseanne Barr is a part of our platform. There, see, I feel like I'm taking ownership. If you have not had a chance to go on over to Wimkin, do it. It's growing, getting big names. They consider us a big name. I don't know. I think Jason needs to stop taking drugs, but we appreciate that he thinks so. So go on over to Wimkin.
Well, he'll learn soon enough.
Yeah.
Step into a Wimkin. Show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy,
3 nights in a row.
Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Trying to decide which one I'm trying to be your size.
I feel like I'm so big tonight. And I'm like, gosh, it's like the day it's been 150 degrees plus the humidity.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, the only thing I can do is do that. You're zoomed in tonight. That's okay. You look good. Who cares? It's better close up because it gives people a bird's eye view. What's going on, Ames? How you doing?
Much cooler now. Not by my kids' standards, but temperature wise, I'm much cooler. So.
Well, that's good. It's been a crazy couple of days for us. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. My name is Matthew. This is Amy, and this is our current promotion that we're running, and it's on Amy's face. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They're
better.
hold on. Yeah, it's a long conversation. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. The I Love Dummy shirt is on sale. Someone said, hey, Matt, you wear new shirts every day. It's like Heartbreak Ridge. Why don't you put one on sale that you wear? And I'm like, fine. Because, 15% off is basically, might as well just be free. But that's okay. I don't want to guilt you. I want you to go over and buy your I Love Dummy shirt. So I figured this is one of our first shirts. In fact, this was our first shirt. So I'd put the first shirt on sale. And this one is 3.5 years old. It's been washed like 100 times. And it's still perfect. The quality of our shirts are awesome. And that's why you pay a premium. So there you go, folks. If you're looking to get yourself a shirt, I
also have one that's 3 years old, and I get the most compliments on that shirt. People think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's a great shirt.
Yeah.
Still holds up.
It does. I like my new hat. I like the Dumb Nation hat. It's about time that I got a new one. I do too. And it looks good under the blue light. Sorry, folks. I'm talking about apparel tonight. What can I do? All right. We got a big show. Really stoked that Roseanne Barr. Now, listen, I don't agree with everything Roseanne Barr says. In fact, I think a lot of what Roseanne Barr says is completely so far out there that I'm just like, wow. However, who cares? She has a platform. She has a voice. And if they brought over a prominent Democrat, I'd be fine with that. I think it's great. And she has a great name. She has a good following. She's a good person. In all aspects, I've heard that she is a phenomenal person. So I'm excited to see what she brings. I'd love to get her on. And I think ultimately that's a very big possibility that she will come on.
I hope so. Ever since Roseanne back in the day, she's been amazing, and I feel bad for what's happened to her. She's been wrongfully outcast for so long. Some of the things she says, though, are a little crazy, but
Jewish space lasers are a bit much.
Yeah, exactly. But I like her, and I know she's a comedian, so she's not always being serious too. And I think we all forget that.
She has a penchant for the dramatic, right?
Yes,
and there's nothing wrong with that. And I like her. That's the thing, is that I like the way she communicates. And like her national anthem thing. I wasn't a big fan of that, but now, I mean, that's like massive respect. I mean, compared to Colin Kaepernick, I mean, he wipes his ass with a flag. So Roseanne, spits afterwards. And all she was doing, this is the problem, is people can't make the correlation. All she was doing was spitting like baseball, grabbing her crotch, and that's what they do in baseball. And she was mimicking it like, I just threw, I just struck somebody out, or I just made a great play, or I just got a home run. She was acting, and people got all pissed off. And I'm like, come on, people. We it's not like she spit on the flag. Just stupid. Right. People are stupid.
I agree.
And Tom Arnold's a dick. So I'm not supposed to say that. I'm not supposed to say it. I was told not to say that. Fuck Tom Arnold. You fuck him.
I'm not a fan of his either. And he's
not either.
Not even relevant anyway. So
yeah, I'm Team Barr.
Yeah.
Not Team Arnold. I'm Team Barr. Like, I'm gonna get shirts, Team Barr. Because I don't like men who are so emasculated that they need to tear a woman down who is worth more popular, did more for her career, and take her to the bank. Fuck Tom Arnold. And I was told not to say that, because it's like, listen, there might be one day he might want to come on the platform, or maybe he might want to come on Facebook, or maybe he might want to come on the show. And it's not a good idea to say that to people. Fuck Tom Arnold. I am confident I never want you on my show.
I was going to say, even if he wanted to come on our show, I would be like, if we're that big at that point, like, he's not relevant. Like, he doesn't do anything anymore. He's not.
Yeah. I'd rather have Damani Felder on my show.
I loved having him on.
One time versus Tom Arnold for the rest of our life. And it's not that I don't find Tom Arnold funny. On True Lies, I thought he was fantastic. I thought he honestly made the movie. I believe Tom Arnold, his parts and his just, off the cuff stuff, he was fantastic in that movie. I thought it was wonderful. And then he made McHale's Navy. And then that's really all we need to say about that. Nobody did. Don't worry about it. That's why nobody knows. So I'm just not a fan of his personal politics. As far as who he is as a person. I don't know him, so I can't tell you. But I just don't like what I see. So I'm Team Barr. She's Team Roseanne Barr. That's it. Okay, good. So we've got that official. Want to thank Sarah. Sarah, thank you for your donation. I'm going to get those put in as soon as I can, but I'm not running with a partner tonight, so it's gonna be interesting. Amy, have you had a chance to see what's been going on with Joe Biden and the election and the snafu after the debates and the infighting? And oh my God, how quickly the tables have turned.
Seen a little bit of it. It's great. I really love Jean-Claude Pierre. What's her name?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
I love how she just walks away now. When they're like, what happens if something, goes on at 11 o'clock at night? She's like, I'm done. She walks off.
She's like, listen, this press secretary isn't, I've got something coming up at McDonald's. I've got an interview in the next few hours. So I'm going to walk away now. I don't know if you had a chance to see that meme. I'm very proud of it. Here it is. And it's, you want lies with that?
She looks good in the McDonald's uniform.
Doesn't she? The red really makes her pop. It just brings out her inner lesbian, for sure.
It's good on her.
Yeah, it does. It certainly does. And that front end manager is just going to love, flirting with her all day. Female, 300-pound.
Hair so much better.
Yeah, but they don't have. Yeah, but there's a problem. They don't have curly fries at McDonald's, so I'm not sure where it's. But bump. See, racism. It's funny, folks, because it's not racist because it doesn't matter what color she is, and it doesn't matter if she licks vagina or not. She's an open target, and I'm going to make fun of those things because I told you about 3 months ago. I'm done. I'm done being politically correct. I'm done not saying words that people go, "Oh, how can you say that?" Well, because it's context. And it's how you use it. And this is a perfect example of what we're diving into tonight. Sebastian Gorka said a no-no.
Oh, I didn't see this. What did he say?
Well, I can't repeat it because I don't want to have the DEI police come after me and tell me how horrible I am. Well, I'll just show you. This is, listen, Sebastian Gorka and I listen, I think he's a smart man. And I think he is a Trump loyalist for sure. You have to, a good hat has to be broken in and fitted before you wear it. So I didn't have a chance to put it in the bowling ball, so to speak, and wrap it with rubber bands and stuff. So I'm going to go do that. But anyway, Sebastian Gorka, smart guy. He's like Dinesh D'Souza. He has a flair for the dramatic, like most of the far right do. Do I agree with everything? And this is important to clarify because there's people like I agree with just about everything they say, but it doesn't mean that they have more value than someone who I don't. But Gorka's not somebody who I like, I'm going to go out and get his book tomorrow, right? He's not somebody that I would want to learn a whole bunch about, but I would love to have him on the show. I'd love to talk about him and learn his viewpoints, but I don't necessarily, from what I've seen from afar, go, that's a guy who I want to emulate. Not that that's good or bad. It's just the way it is. Here's the video, and we'll talk about what he said. Now, I know what this crew is going to do. This crew is going to be like, what? What's wrong with what he said? Well, we'll talk about what is the perceived what's wrong with that. And then we can talk about what, if it really is right or wrong. And that's not the picture I wanted. I don't know what just happened. Here we go. There it is. Listen to this. And Amy, I'll get your reaction.
Do these donors really think that Kamala Harris is going to do better in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania than Joe Biden would? That's because it can't be anybody else, right?
Hey, Rob, you're being logical. Stop it, all right? She's a DEI hire, right? She's a woman. She's colored, therefore she's got to be good. Yeah. And at least,
Amy, you start.
I'm sorry. I gotta run for 1 second. I'm so sorry.
No, you do it. I'll start.
Sorry.
I'll start.
Sorry.
Whatever. It's fine. Amy's a DEI hire, so she can go. Listen, here's the problem with this whole thing. is it started off, and I see the problem with this. You don't call people colored. That's a pretty stupid thing to do, right? Eli Crane had said something similar on the stage, and I did a show on it. And I ultimately said there's no reason to shoot down Eli Crane's career because he had a Freudian slip. And I feel the same way with Gorka here. Gorka, if you watch, it's the mannerism. And he had a look on his face. Let's go watch it again. And I want you to see where it changes. He rolls his eyes and he makes this, pantomime. And it's kind of saying, okay, I'm about now to mimic Democrats. So watch this. And I'm not excusing it, but I just want you to watch it again.
Donors really think that Kamala Harris is going to do better in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania than Joe Biden would. I mean, that's the because it can't be anybody else, right?
Hey, Rob, you're being logical. Stop it. All right. She's a
Okay, right here after he says DEI, watch his face.
DEI hire, right? She's a woman. She's colored. Therefore, she's got to be good.
Yeah.
He's mimicking other people. Now, Amy, I'm just going to finish my thought, and then I'm going to, turn over to you since you had a little bit of a break. It started off that it was colored, and it wasn't okay because the connotation with that is what? No, only whites allowed, no colored. This is a colored drinking fountain. This is a colored section to sit in. This is the colored waiting area in the doctor's office. Not cool. So with that negative connotation, similar to lions and Christians in the Roman period, probably if somebody decided to go ahead and give them a T-shirt and had a lion on it, I think Christians probably would be like, you know what? No, thank you. That's a little too fresh in the wounds. Too soon. Maybe in a couple centuries. And so when you see this progression from colored to minorities, which is what happened, which isn't much better.
Worse.
Yeah, in my opinion. And the reason why is that in legal contents and the written constitutional law, you're okay. Go. You're fine. Don't even.
I'm sorry.
Take care of what you need to take care of. And in constitutional law, majority and minority it has nothing to do with your quality of life. It has to do with the majority and minority opinion, or the majority or minority in the House. It's a makeup of these people hold more and these people hold less. And therefore, because black people, Hispanics have a lower representation into the demographic, they were called minorities. Either way, not okay, right? It's a shitty way to be described. I don't want to be called a minority. But the truth is, white men with tattoos, ex-military, who wear T-shirts and ball caps and run a podcast are a minority, for sure. So we went for minority, and then we found that minorities, like illegal aliens, and you can't use certain words to describe the LGBTQ community. That these words are offensive, and now everything's offensive. So what do? We call them people of color. What's the difference? If I have a coloring book and I take a brown crayon and I color in the lines of that coloring book, I have colored the pages. Okay? And then if I have a person on a coloring book and I color them in with a brown crayon, I now have people of color. What does it matter? Who gives a shit? So if you're going to go ahead and say colored is not okay, and now minorities are not okay, and then people of color is okay, but ultimately that'll go away too. Because people of color will somehow be, we don't see color, we see no color, we see a rainbow, and everybody's the same, just, ugh. They're so like fashionista. That's next. And then what's it going to be, right? What's it going to be? Because you either have black, which is all colors, or you're going to have white, which is no color. So either way, that's racist too. So it doesn't matter what you do. If you recognize somebody's skin, you're a racist. If you recognize somebody's sexual disposition, you're a homophobe. So let me get this straight. You have the attention. You want to be recognized. You get upset when you're marginalized, and then you get the attention and say, no, not that type of attention. I'm not here to back up Gorka, but there's a lot of things that are worse than this. Calling people Nazis, calling half of the country violent extremists, slaughtering babies, giving our money to foreign countries, politicians getting rich off the backs of Americans, taxation assuredly without representation. So if you want to get your panties in a bunch and your knickers in a twist, it's panties in a bunch and knickers in a twist. Tell me the movie. Then
I'm not Leroy.
It's okay.
I'm not Leroy.
But Sebastian Gorka, get mad at him for his policies, get mad at him for whatever, but don't get mad at him for the truth. She was hired because she was a person of color.
Yeah, and a woman.
And a woman.
A lesbian.
Whoa. No, we're talking about
Right?
Kamala. Is Kamala a lesbian?
Oh, Kamala. Sorry.
No, she might be a muff diver. I don't know. She might be.
Sorry, I was confused because we were talking.
Isn't her
about
husband white? Isn't her husband
Kamala.
white?
Yeah, I think he is. Isn't he like a dorky white guy too?
Well, according to against a black person, there's not a white hip person who looks good next to a black person. I mean, come on.
True.
You're immediately out of it. You just, as far as cool, give me a break. I'm sorry, but the music, the culture, the dress, the style, the swagger, the language, African American black people, they've got it going on, man. They're in the hip crowd. How many times you ever looked at a black person and go, that guy's a nerd? Never.
Oh.
Okay, so that's my point. That's my point. Unless it's Stephen Urkel.
I saw the coolest black guy the other day, and I was like, I'm so into like everything you're doing because he had his convertible. He was convertible
Right.
top down,
Right.
like he was jamming to like some 70s, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like
dude.
chilling with him in the parking lot, and my
Right.
kids were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I just really like, I'm
Right, that
vibing
black
off of
guy's
that
cool.
guy. Yeah, like vibing off of him.
Nobody picked on the black kids at school where I was at. They were all the cool clubs. This isn't a racist thing. This is just that I'm admitting the cool factor of a white person standing next to a black person. It's very rare. Here's an example. Have M stand next to 50 Cent, and Ice Cube, and Eazy-E. And even though M is a better rapper than all of them, he's not as cool as them.
Right.
He tries to wear that shit, and it doesn't look at LL Cool J. He's whiter than all of them, and he wore Kangol. And it's like, nah, I don't think so, dude. You're kind of white. So there are white black guys that aren't cool, and there's plenty of white black guys. LL Cool J is one of them. But he has cool in his name, which is really like insane. Isn't it funny? It's like you got cool in your name. Well, now you're not cool anymore.
What did Biden call him? Didn't he call him something else? LL Cool J. Didn't he?
Oh, did he call him LL Coon J? Because that sounds like Joe Biden.
He wasn't he trying to. This is like a couple years ago, wasn't he? Like talking about him, and he just could not get his name right. I don't know if it was an awards thing. I have no idea why.
I don't know, but I'm going to show you a video that like LL Coon J is probably what he called him, and I've got that thing loaded up on ready to fire for this conversation. So, listen, it comes down to this is a compliment. Some of the coolest people I've ever met in my life are black. They're cooler than white people. I'm sorry. It's hipper music, better looking cars, better looking attitude. They've got this swagger. And like I said, I have never went up to a black guy and be like, you're a dork. I've done that to hundreds of white guys. Oh. So even in the military, all the black guys were shit hot, man. Their shoes were polished perfect. They were dialed in. They were always the most athletic and honestly the sharpest to get things, quickest to get things. So when people say, there's no difference between white people and black people, yes, there is. And stop making it a bad thing. Why? We can't celebrate. I thought diversity is what we're all about. Aren't we supposed to celebrate our diversity? But you can't be diverse.
Oh, well, they only want diversity. God bless you. They only want white people to be diverse. They're not asking black people to be diverse. They're not asking Hispanic people to be diverse. They're only asking white people to be diverse.
Yeah. No. Listen, it's only diverse if white people are gone. The economy is so bad that 50 Cent is Nickelback. That's fine.
But I like 50 Cent's music.
Amy Bordeaux says, I'm a cool white girl. Yeah, but the coolest
I'm
white
a cool
person
white girl.
is like the least cool black person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just I know this sounds really bad, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a good thing. My neighbor, like, he had the best parties. When he barbecued, it was like a block thing. And I was just like, man, you're cool. Inside his garage, he had a vending machine that released workout water. And then on the other side of it, it was beer. And so you'd be out there doing fireworks, you go into a vending machine and just, but how cool is that? It's just something I wouldn't do. So maybe I'm being a little stereotypical, but at least it's a positive stereotype that black people are cooler than white people.
Yeah. It's why I drive the car I drive.
Yeah, that's why I drive the car. I drive the car you drive. I'm not cool. Like, I tint the windows, yeah, but I don't tint the front too. Black people tint all of them, and they're like, "Fuck the ticket," and we're like, "Oh no, that's against the law. We can't do that. We're not cool. we're so white. We're just white. We're just not cool, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. People just need to be self-aware. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this case, Gorka, cut him some fucking slack, man. The guy's a foreigner. He has a hard time with his, he just because you say something, it doesn't mean that you should be ostracized for the rest of your life. Now, here's a perfect example. Last night, we had Carrie on here, Carrie, the Muslim hater of women and hater of Jews. And I told him, I don't know if anyone remember. Do you remember what I told him? I said, it's okay if you...
Isn't it Kyrie or no?
Yeah, no, his name's Carrie now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm calling him Carrie.
I'm going to connect the dots.
Yeah, no, okay. it's Kyrie, but I gave him respect, no more. And I told him last night, I said, dude, you can say whatever you want about me. And then he went on about my weight loss journey. He's like, you've only been in shape for 5 years. It's like, brother, you have no fucking idea what I look like between the ages of 18 and 33. You got no clue. There's no doubt. After back surgery, I had some bad years. There's no doubt. But don't let that shit fool you. Anybody who sees me knows that I'm athletic and I'm a big guy. And I work hard at it. Don't really fucking need your approval of what I look like. So kiss my pucker. But he started coming after me on that. And then started saying some shit about Palestine. And then I talked about Claude on the show, who was a Palestinian. And he's like, oh, he owns you. And then you own me. And I'm fucking whatever, bro. Just... God, if you're still holding on to this after the show, you got to learn to let go, because I forgot about you the moment that we shut the feed down. Anyway, so it was pretty bad last night, Amy. It was one of my classic rip on him for about 45 minutes, and we had the most views that we've had in a while because people really liked it. But the point is I told him, I said, if you talk bad about me, I don't care. But the moment you disrespect any of my viewers again, you're gone. And he went after Sarah Nichols. And he started making fun of her body type. And I'm like, so not only are you a sexist Muslim dick, you also go after people who struggle and have a disability. Because Sarah is functioning autistic. And like a few of our viewers, along with Susie, we embrace that. And Leroy's son.
Yep.
And a lot of our viewers have autistic children. And unfortunately, it's going to even get more prominent after the shot. But you're not going to do that shit. You're not going to go after my viewers. You're not going to insult them. You can insult me. Go ahead. Because everything you say to me means nothing to me. But the moment you insult one of my viewers, you're just proving that you're a complete douche plow. So let's do this. Now, Sebastian Gorka, Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil. I really want lasers on the top of their heads. But seriously, people, sharks with lasers on their head, how difficult is it, really? He's actually quite astute. I am trying to kill the little shit. He's actually wily like the old man. There's nothing like a freshly scorned scrotum.
Minor crime bill.
Here you go. Joe Biden, the great white hope. The guy who's not a racist. in any way, shape, or form, enjoy this.
Oh gosh, this is a bad one.
Oh no, we just cut a great video for everyone to see how inclusive he is, right? Sebastian Gorka says colored and rolls his eyes and says it mimicking Democrats, of course, right? But let's go ahead and watch this.
This is
the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, "We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots." And the court cited
every major crime bill, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill.
We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
Spent last summer going through the black sections of my town, holding rallies in parks, trying to get black men to understand it's not unmanly to wear a condom, getting women to understand they can say no, getting people in the position where testing matters. I got tested for AIDS. I know Barack got tested for AIDS. There's no shame in being tested for AIDS.
Romney wants to he said in the first 100 days, he's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains. Who most foreign policy experts around the world say is the wisest man in the Orient. Large, very identifiable Somali community. I might add, if you ever come to the train station with me, you'll notice that I have great relationships with them because there's an awful lot of driving cabs. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What responsibility do you think that Americans need to take to repair the legacy of slavery in our country?
We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. I recognize that kid wearing a hoodie may very well be the next poet laureate and not a gangbanger. You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. And by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Have you taken a cognitive?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie? What do you see? You see, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf. Young black entrepreneurs are just as capable of succeeding given the chance as white entrepreneurs are. But they don't have lawyers.
What kind of a chance would a northeastern liberal like Joe Biden stand in the South if you were running in Democratic primaries against Southerners like Mark Warner and John Edwards?
Better than anybody else. And you don't know my state. My state was a slave.
The left has convinced so many.
Okay, this is American Archer. I don't know who he is. So obviously this is his video. So look up American Archer and follow him. Because I never want to pull a Benny Johnson. So we'll listen to the rest of what he has to say and see if we can find it.
Donald Trump is racist, and in no way, shape, or form is Joe Biden racist at all. I would say that these clips say otherwise. So share it with your Democrat friends, anyone who needs to see it, and don't let your lying eyes deceive you.
All right, the name's American Archer. I'll if someone wouldn't mind going on Twitter and at least linking his profile so we can follow the guy. He did say share it. So, but I want to give him credit because I'm not Benny Johnson. Amy, what do you think? What do you think of our all-inclusive diversity, equity, and inclusion president?
I mean, that compilation of videos is great because I remember a lot of these things that he has said over the years, and they're all cringeworthy. And you can say, well, he's stating what he's lived a lot of times, talking about, allegedly he makes up a lot of stories about his own life, but he talks about his personal experiences in some of those clips about the lady at the grocery store or whatever. It's just disgusting. Even when he was quoting somebody else, and I won't say the N word, I just won't do it.
No, I've done it 2 times on this show to prove a point, and that was it. But go ahead.
Yeah. But even though he's quoting someone else, you could omit that word. You could, paraphrase into something else. There's ways to handle it with tact and grace and still show the
N-word.
things. Yeah.
Say N-word.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows what it's like when you say F word. Everyone knows what the F word is. Everyone knows what the N word is.
My kids don't.
Well, right, but you get my point. But you know what's funny? You want to know what's hilarious? Is that there was a swastika with the N word spray painted down by our path. You probably heard this a few years ago. And immediately my kids knew that there was something wrong. They had never seen a swastika. They'd never seen the word, and they knew it was terribly wrong. That should tell you something, that it's now bred into our DNA to recognize things like that. Because what other reason do you have that 2 children would see that and say, something's wrong with this, and then run and get us and say, there's a word here that explain it, right? And I don't think you can. It's just like, how do people smell marijuana and know it's marijuana? There's things in your life that you just know they're wrong. And the swastika and the N-word is wrong. Because when people say it, it doesn't come off comfortably off their tongue. They hesitate when they say it. You see that moment. And if they don't, it means they use it all the time. And Joe Biden said it like it was no big deal.
Well, it obviously wasn't by the rest of the video as well. I mean, Joe Biden, I don't know his heart. I don't know him, but I don't believe he's intentionally trying to hurt anyone in particular. I think he's just that stupid that he doesn't have any social grace. He's so out of touch with America or the whole flipping world. He's so out of touch. He doesn't know it's wrong to say the things he's saying. Like, he's so dumb, literally so dumb. He's just so out of touch. And maybe this proves that he's not out of his mind lately. Maybe he's always been crazy. I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't. I'm done giving him any carte blanche. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him still.
No, I don't. Here it is, folks. Twitter.com, X.com. Actually, looks like Elon finally bought the letter X. Do you know how much you know how many millions of dollars that cost him?
Oh,
X.
Well, for him,
X.com. No, but that's a $10 million URL. I mean, X.com is like, from a porn standpoint, that is holy shit. That he just wrote a check. Here you go. X.com. Just tell me what you want. Here it is. Anyway, X.com. Kalen Archer is his name. That is the gentleman who I borrowed the video from. So yes, that's him. I'm seeing him right here. So Kalen Archer, that's his name. So now that we know that, so let's give Gorka a break, okay? Let's take Gorka on the things that he says that are truly, questionable versus something that honestly was not designed to be racist. Now, here's the interesting thing. We just got to see Joe Biden. And the latest shtick is Nancy Pelosi walking down the halls and being asked about Joe Biden. Now, how many times in the last 3 weeks have you heard Joe Biden say he's running, Amy?
Probably at least 20.
Okay, fair. All right. So since we're on the same page, listen to this shit. And this, okay, I'm mad. I don't like Joe Biden. In fact, I think Joe Biden is a twat waffle, okay? Completely, with all the trimmings. However, he's the president of the United States.
Yep.
I don't want to get any bullshit semantics with you of how it happened. He's sitting in the Oval Office. It's a clone. It was a stolen election. He's being handled by other. Yeah, I've heard it all, okay? I know what you're going to say. I get it. Check mark, check mark, check mark. Okay, you don't even need to write it down. Okay, I got it. I know everything you're going to say. Guantanamo Bay, it's a mask. He's a clone. He's a lizard. I fucking got it. I don't need to hear it. He's the president of the United States. No, he's not, man. Never talking the Oval Office. He's the president of the United States, for fuck's sakes. At least in name. So now that we've established that,
Oh,
what?
I was just reading the name on the screen. Cindy Perfect has liked our stream. I'm like,
Oh shit, we
I
got
hope
we
that's
got
the
high
real name. I'm jealous.
we got high standards now. Holy crap, we're gonna be like Matt and Amy Good. See if that's
No.
okay with you, Cindy, because we can't reach your level of. So here, we know, okay? Yeah. Biden is a brain dead putz. Putz is P-U-T-Z. If you're going to insult somebody, spell it right, okay? Get your Yiddish slang correct, please. He's a putz. So Darren Dabs. Darren has the greatest name ever. Like if they were going to make like Boogie Nights 2, Darren Dabs would be the lead character. Instead of Dirk Diggler, Darren Dabs. Love his name. Anyway, okay, like Darren. Okay, so stop it. Squirrel. Knock it off, people. So I'm upset because even though I don't want to see Joe Biden as the president, and I never, ever want him to win, he has every right to run. And fuck the liberals for taking advantage of him. First, you tried to sell that he was a clean state of mind and he was so sharp. He's attacked and energy driven. It's Joe Biden. Get your new Joe Biden pills. Take one in the morning and one at night, and you will be an enthusiastic 106-year-old. We were sold this bag of shit for 3.5 years as all of us told you that this guy was literally Ronald Reagan had more of a pulse.
Yeah.
And you guys called us deep fakers and liars, and you just hate him because he's not Trump, blah, blah, blah. And you guys turn on him in a New York minute. You are feasting on the decaying corpse that is Joe Biden. And I think it's fucking disgusting. The president of the United States has said he's going to run. Shut the fuck up. And back him or don't. Back him or don't. I'm going to defend Joe here. I don't think Joe should be president. I think Joe honestly should be in jail for a lot of the shit that we know he's done. But he's the president. And if he wants to run again, then that's his choice. And damn the torpedoes, because he's going to lose and it's going to be horrible for our country. But that doesn't matter. This is an integrity thing. And just because they don't have any doesn't mean we shouldn't. I think this is small and ridiculous. Amy, go ahead, then I'm going to show you the video.
I think Adam Carolla said it best recently. Did you see that video of him? Oh, he was on.
I've seen a ton, but just tell me, what is it?
He was talking about, his aides or whoever's closest to him in his inner circle should tell him when he says, I want to run for a second term, they should tell him, this is your second term. Do you believe that?
Right. You've already done it, sir. Yeah. But listen, I want to be clear. The reason I'm saying this is because I think what the Democratic Party is doing to Joe Biden is just as bad as what Joe Biden is doing to America. You want to talk about a threat to democracy? You're literally putting pressure on the president, who has said multiple times that he is running and it's his race, and him and Kamala are standing side by side. And you guys are trying to fucking, with a Machiavellian scheme, undercut the president. This is a soft coup. You got Democrats are just fucking evil. And I hate to say it now, but you guys are just fucking evil. And this is the problem, is all the Democrat supporters who, all these people are like, I'm riding with Biden. I'm riding with Biden. Yes, sir. I don't love Jesus, but I'm riding with Biden. Me and Biden are riding. Sometimes he rides me. Sometimes I ride him. It depends. I'm riding with Biden. And now you're like, fuck it. He's too old. Get the piece of shit out of office. Let's get somebody younger in there. Let's go ahead and get Gavin Newsom. Let's get Kamala. Let's get Obama in here. Let's look at Hillary Clinton and float her poll numbers. You people make me fucking sick. You used the man, you spit him out, you propped him up as the greatest thing since sliced bread, and now you're shitting all over him and you're doing a soft coup. Listen to this. Listen to, and read between the lines on what Nancy Bucktooth Pelosi says. She has George Washington's wooden teeth.
Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision? I'm not making any comments in the hallway about
I'm not going to make any comments in the hallway, so let me go ahead and make some comments in the hallway.
Right. Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November? I think he can. Do you believe you should run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you.
Am I not speaking English to you? Listen, you dumb monkey. Am I not talking to you properly? Now look I just did it. Can I say, listen, colored woman? Well, Gorka did it because that's what Nancy Pelosi just did. Am I not speaking English to you? Do I need to speak Ebonics to you? So when
That's how I heard it.
So when I make fun of it like Gorka does, I'm a racist. But when she does it, it's okay. So when Joe Biden hires a diversity hire in Kamala Harris and does it based on a racist idea, me calling that out is racist, but him doing it isn't. Right. Got it. Why is it that I can't say it? Because I'm white? Oh, that's not racist at all. How can Nancy Pelosi say it? Because she's part of the fucking club? Oh, that's not racist at all. Am I speaking English to you? Oh my God. What? This is, Democrats will always tell you who they are. They fucking hate black people. They hate them. Not your neighbor, not your friend, not your local city councilman. The uppity elites like Nancy Pelosi, who are worth millions, they look at black people like peons and dog shit. That's why they treat their neighborhoods like this. That's why they don't give a shit about them except for 3 months out of the year. This is the way she talks to people of color. Who's wearing a beautiful fuchsia, by the way. Looks great on her. Here's the rest.
Run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Do you believe?
She then proceeded to make statements in the hallway. And her comment was, it's up to Joe. And we've had conversations with him, and we need him to make a decision. We need him to decide, and we'll see what this week brings. He's already decided, you fucking bitch. He's already said it. Amy just said 20 fucking times. Folks, my patience level and my language is going to get worse the closer we get to the election. You just need to understand this. People have seen the ebb and flow of Matt Spear. And when we get to election time, I'm like your father at tax time. Shut up! Daddy's doing taxes. I'm done. This lady and everything about her party, she just undressed that black woman, and she might as well have cracked a whip the way she treated her. Because what she did right there, that's fucking racist. Do you think she would do that to Jake Tapper? Do you think she would do that to a white journalist? I don't think she would have. I don't think she would have used those words. Amy, what do you think?
I mean, as soon as she said it, I think my face said it all. I was just in shock that she said, am I not speaking? I mean, it's not like it's some, Joe Schmo off the street. This is a woman who is part of the press circle. Like, she's allowed to be there. So if you don't want to answer questions, again, you can handle things with grace and some dignity for other people. Look, I appreciate your questions. I'm just not going to answer anything. Have a great day. You don't have to be an asshole to people. It's so racist sounding.
You speak English?
English to you?
Am I not speaking English?
Oh, God.
$5 make you holla? This is the wrong race, Nancy. That's the wrong thing. You say speaking English to Mexicans and Asians. You don't say it to black people, you fucking idiot. Nobody's speaking Nigerian, okay? We beat that out of them for 420 fucking years, okay? So there's no more Nigerian black people who are going to be asking you questions, unfortunately. So when you want to use racial epitaphs, you should have done it to Mexicans and Asians. Oh, you speaking no English? Get your racial epitaphs correctly. What a bish.
It sounds. Oh shit. Sorry.
Can you stop cussing? Your language is atrocious. Seriously, I thought you were a Christian woman. This just goes to show that Catholics aren't Christians.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, my priest cuss. Not at church, though. It just sounds like she's not just insulting, the fact that she's saying this, and she happens to be a black woman. But also, it's like, how dumb are you? Like, why? Like, it just really rubs me the wrong way. If you hold a public office, especially when you're being filmed. If you're holding a public office and there's a camera on you most hours of the workday, I don't know, maybe work with like an etiquette coach on how to handle situations you don't want to be in.
Or get some fucking teeth, man. You are worth $320 million. Get some fucking implants, lady. Seriously, what is up with the half denture? I mean, I've got 4 of them. I can afford 4 of them. Why can't you? And after my penile reduction surgery, you know, God, 18 inches was horrible. 12 is much more manageable.
Could you imagine being her dentist though? Like,
well, no, I imagine being her hairstylist that during COVID, she didn't skip an appointment anywhere. She was all masseuse, you know, her boy toy. I think she actually went and picked up a couple of hammers at Lowe's. No, wait, that was the guy that hit her husband. So I fuck Nancy Pelosi. And if I was that reporter, I would be like, excuse me, what the fuck did you just, I swear to God, what the fuck did you just say to me? Bitch, I will kick your fucking ass up and down this hallway. Don't you ever talk to me like that, you fucking white cracker. I would have let loose on her because here's the deal. She would have gotten fired. There's no doubt. But the crowdsourcing and the money raising that people would give her, she'd be a multimillionaire. Because I guarantee I would do it. Everybody would prop her up and do a GoFundMe for her. And she would have a golden parachute. Because if I was her, I wouldn't stand for that shit. I don't care who you are. I'm going to tell you about the time my regional manager, who was a black man, decided to go ahead and undress me because of my tattoos and my beard and tell you what I said to him. And my career was over. But if you're going to degrade me based upon my skin color or my religion or whatever it may be, I don't care what position of power you're in. I'm going to call your ass out. And that lady should have called out and said, hold on a second, turn off the camera. What the fuck did you just say to me? Do I speak? I'm a college educated woman. I'm a black woman in America. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am a sister. If you ever fucking talk to me like that, Grandma, I will break your fucking hip, rip it off, and beat you with it.
Oh,
because that woman looks like she could scrap.
Yeah.
She's got a 10-inch reach on her, about 25 pounds on her, and about a foot. I'll be like, you frail old bitch. Don't talk to me like that, you grandma bucktooth fucking. Oh, sorry, I don't like that. You don't talk to. We sit here and we challenge African American people to stand up, to ask questions, to get involved, to go through the process of what it is to make a meaningful life in America. And this woman is an intelligent, clean black woman in America, according to Joe Biden, and you still treat her like she's some freaking field N-word.
Yeah.
And that culture is what a liberal elites believe about black people. Every one of them, from Hillary Clinton to Joe Biden, even to Barack Obama. They're a bunch of porch blanks. And we get labeled as the racist party. And it makes my blood boil. It just makes it's right up there with pedophilia. It makes my blood boil when people are absolutely denigrate black people just because they believe that they're richer, more prominent, and their opinions don't matter. It's almost like Nancy Pelosi saying, listen, we give you the right to talk. You better shut the fuck up before we put you back in the fields. That's the attitude she's got. Sorry, Amy. It really pisses me off.
No, the way you said that, it's like, yes, the way she stopped and like she's disciplining a child. Like, let me stop what I'm doing and get on your level here. Let me kneel down and talk to you like a child.
Have you forgotten who I am?
Right.
Have you forgotten what I mean to this party? How dare you speak to me that way? How dare you? I guarantee Nancy just wanted to be, one of these days, we're going to catch one of these fuckers on tape where they say, what does that N blank blank think about? Same as LBJ. This has been going on in this party. Democrats have been doing this for decades.
Yeah.
They don't care. Listen, at least Republicans, they don't care about anybody. They care about their family. They care about their God. They care about their country. They don't have time to care about your progressive groupthink. Okay. At least Republicans, we have enough to care about. And those are the things that we focus on, our individuals, our circles, our families, our networks, our friends, our family. Those are a lot of things to care for. And if we would just focus on that, everyone would do that, we would have an amazing society. Democrats, they care about one thing, power.
Yeah.
And with that power, money and votes. And for them to sit here and pretend that this isn't some crotchety white woman looking at a black woman and saying, you better learn your place. The way she turned to her, the way she faced off and lowered her voice, almost like, I'm surprised she didn't grab her by the ear.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Man, I would love to hear what she thinks about Kamala. Like in real terms, like what she thinks about her.
I don't know. I think Nancy Pelosi is probably one of the most racist fucking people on Capitol Hill.
I think so.
Here it is again.
Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision could harm the party?
Any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation. Okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can win in November.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Oh, you see the black guy behind her though? He even made a face like, whoa, like.
See, and here's the problem, and here's the absolute truth. Right. This.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's the absolute truth. If that was a white CEO, if that was a white newscaster, if that was a white Republican politician who talked to a black woman like that, can you fucking imagine what would happen? The Twitter would be a hashtag sexist racism. You know, I can't even say the words of what would be trending on Twitter. And I want to reach out to this reporter. I don't care if she's a Democrat. I don't care if she's a Republican. I want to know what she felt. Because me, like,
cringing.
I hate to say
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have white guilt. I have white rage. Right? So there ain't no white guilt here. I want to bitch slap Nancy Pelosi. I can't imagine what she would do. And what was up with Doogie Howser behind her? Oh, what's up with this? With Lurch Doogie Howser behind her here. Look at this guy. He looks like he looks like he belongs to the South Baptist fucking church in the Klan. Look at this guy.
That him waiting so long to make this decision could harm the party.
Any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation. Okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can win in November.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry. I'm willing to spend another hour on this. I'm not going to, but dude, that is like, of all the videos I've ever played, a lot of those things, context is important and nuance is important. That is probably one of the most offensive things I've ever seen when it comes to a politician, just the way she talked to her.
Yeah. It's not like this lady was like in her face she's doing exactly what reporters do. You say I'm not answering questions, they keep asking them because as people, we're inherently, most of us are going to answer at some point. If most of us are, right? If you keep asking question after question, you're going to land on something you're going to answer. So she's doing her job. Yeah, Nancy, man. Which again, when she just turned around, I didn't even notice the hand thing at first. I'm like, oh, dang. Like, that's just, oh, she's such an evil person. She's just pure evil. Like pure evil.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not a nice person. Moving on. Folks, Olivia's gonna yell at me. So I gotta do the spiel. Linktapgo.com. Whoops.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Give us money. Please.
No, it's not. That is not the subtle way to do that. Linktapgo.com/The Dumb Show. Folks, we are 100% funded by you, the viewer. You can see our goal down here, July goal. We're about a third of the way through and a little bit behind for the month. Usually we would be about 1,000 right now, but not complaining. People give what they can and times are tight right now. But Facebook took 90% of our revenue. We don't get high sponsorship revenue. We sell some T-shirts and some coffee. There's companies like Spreely and Wimkin who help us out, and they love our content, but it's not enough. And to run a show like that, for example, I need a new teleprompter. My other one out today, $300, bam, right there. This show costs a lot of money. On average, we put about $27,000 to $35,000 into the show annually. That's what we've done the last 3 years. That's a lot of money. So it takes a lot to keep it going. So we're not PBS. We're not going off air tomorrow. We're going to be fine. We're going to keep doing what we're going to do. We're going to keep growing. But your help means the world. Now, if you're in a situation where you're trying to pay rent and you're trying to get food on the table, do not even think about trying to donate to us. Give us a like and a share. Tell a friend. Bring a friend over here and help us grow that way. But if you're in a situation, you take care of your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, vacation's good. You're all set for the summer. And you got those new pair of house shoes you've been waiting for, great. And you're sitting around and you're like, okay, I got some money in my pocket. I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to spend $7 on a latte. Maybe we have a cup of black coffee with a little bit of cream and sugar and call it good, and you can help out the Dumb Show. So whether it's $1 or $10 or even people have given $1,000, whatever you can do to help out would mean a great deal. You can go to linktapgo.com/The Dumb Show. It pops up here, and then we'll say, hey, look what this person did, and we love you. Now, one of the most important things I've been wanting to do, but we were on a rant, so I wanted to make sure that I took the time to do this. Dodie has a birthday. Now, Dodie is somebody that I called Dottie for, I don't know, years. And she's like, my name's Dodie. And I'm like, no, it's not. And yes, it is. I'm like, I don't believe you. She's like, I know what my name is. And I say, well, you're just going to be called Dottie from now on because I don't have the ability to change it. So, in fact, I had to text Olivia 3 times because phonetically, I just can't say Dodie. Because Doe is D-O-U-G-H. So it's really hard when I see D-O-D-I-E, which is Dottie, but it's Dodie. But either way, Dodie, happy birthday. And one of our most loyal viewers. We love you, we appreciate you, and we can't thank you enough for watching this show. Ames?
Yes, happy birthday. And yeah, you've been with us forever. So thank you. So hope you have a happy birthday. I hope it's maybe cooler where you are. It's just hot and we can't get any rain. Did it rain at your house today? Because we're praying.
No, we're in the Sahara. I mean, literally. I mean, we're antithetical. We're the reverse of Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
People,
saving all those lawn care costs though. My grass is
oh
all
my
dead.
God. Yeah, my lawn guy's like, he comes out. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm mowing your lawn. I'm like, the fuck you are. Get off my property. I'm not giving you $75 to mow nothing. Yeah. It literally looks like, a Marine Corps haircut out there. It's fucking the Dust Bowl, dude. You walk across my yard and you kick up dust like you're on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah. And you guys have to pay for water there too, right? Do you pay for water?
Don't even get me started. We're not Round Hill proper.
Oh, okay.
I could literally step out my back porch and piss on the town, and we're not Round Hill proper. Give me a break. This fucking town. I've already went to war with them once.
Well, we don't have to pay for water. So I've been having the kids play in the sprinklers. I'm like, yeah, just move it around the yard as you're playing in the sprinklers.
Right. I'm ready to go tap a fire hydrant, honestly, and play some jump rope, because I feel like I'm in Brooklyn or some Queens or some shit. This is a guy we've had on the show before, Tizzy ENT. He hasn't been on, and he doesn't know he's on. I can't stand this guy. Happy birthday, Dowdy. You're amazing.
Happy birthday.
Dodie. Did I say Dowdy? Fuck. Is it Dodie or Dottie? Dodie. Dowdy. Dodie. Lady that begins with D. That's her name. It's like Tenacious D. That's your new name, Tenacious D. Embrace it. Okay. Tizzy is having another hizzy. I would love to have this guy on the show. He's a TikTok guy, and of course has multi-millions of followers because TikTok only cares about the progressive viewpoints. If you're a conservative, they just crush you. I post a video once a month there. They were great. I was getting a few thousand views. Now I get like 14. I'm just done. I quit. I'm not doing it again. But this guy wants to talk. Oh, go ahead.
Well, really quick about TikTok. I follow a few conservative people on TikTok, and every single person that I follow, and there's maybe 3, so it's not a ton, they've all had to start new accounts. They've all been canceled at some point, completely wiped their accounts out, and they've had to start brand new accounts. So that should tell you something about TikTok.
Yeah.
And they're not crazy conservative people. They're just regular people who fall in the conservative line. They're not like the crazy far right people. I don't follow them.
Yeah. Well, this guy is a king twat waffle, and we're going to listen to his opinion. This is a little bit long. I want to let you know they're now trying to link Donald Trump to the Epstein files. Let me explain something to you. There is absolutely nothing tying Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein in any way, shape, or form. I have debunked this shit 100 times on this show. I showed you the flight logs. The only thing he chartered a flight was from Florida to New Jersey. Period. There are no brothels of Jeffrey Epstein on the flight to New Jersey. Hundreds, thousands of people chartered flights. That's what happens when you have private planes. They share private planes. It's like a timeshare. You don't buy a private jet, and unless you're Taylor Swift that flies it everywhere, you charter it.
Yep.
And you go ahead and put other people on it to go ahead and pay for it. Just like if you have a condo or a villa in Italy, you'll let your friend or lease it out or rent it out. There's nothing wrong with that. Donald Trump is the one that kicked Epstein off out of Mar-a-Lago. He is the one that worked with state's evidence with the FBI. Enough. But now they're trying to sell that he's a pedo. I guess it's pedo, not pedo. See, people can't fucking spell anymore. It's peddle, P-E-D-D-L-E. Please tell me a word that starts with P-E-D that's pedo.
Pedo, right? Because
it is fucking pedo. It's just like GIF and JIF. JIF is J-I-F, or you don't need to tell me what the peanut butter's called then. It's GIF. GIF, which is a graphic interface, a small little repetitive image over and over and over. A GIF is how you say it. You don't say GIF. Why can't people just understand the English language? Why can't people say Dottie? Because that's what the word is. Just kidding.
It's her name.
Okay. It's kind of like there's no such thing. If it doesn't have a top crust, it's not a pie.
Right.
It's true. It's true.
What's
it's
pumpkin
a quiche.
pie then?
No, it's not. Pumpkin pie. It's not a pie.
I'm asking. So what do you
pumpkin
call
pie
it?
is gelatin with crust. It's a cookie. It's a topless cookie. It's a fucking quiche is what it is. It's not a pie has top crust.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm not arguing. I don't care enough to argue about it. I'm just curious what you call it.
We've done it before. We've done it. I've triggered. Do you remember when I gaslit the entire show and people were fucking yes, it is a pie. What are you talking? And I'm just like, I'm screwing with you guys after like an hour. That was a fun night. I'm kidding. It doesn't matter. The point is, this guy's a jerk. Listen to him. Ramon says pediatric. Okay, so that's one. But it's the pedia. But that's
pedophile.
right. That's correct. And what makes that E sound that you're talking about, and the P and makes the E a high E is the IA afterwards, like in media. So thank you for pointing out the word, and then we can break it down phonetically and show you why it says that. It's just like when you put jump and jumping on a word, the word is inherently different. Well, when you put media or pedia together, it has a different sound than P-E-D-D-L-E as in pedal, or P-E-T-A-L, which is pedal, which is the same sound. So that would be a homonym, right? Sounds the same, but different meaning. I'm just saying that GIF and GIF, it's not that hard. And pedophilia would mean that if you take off the philia, it's pedo, not pedo. Chef says, oh God, Matt, pie doesn't need crust. Yeah, if you want to be wrong. Let's listen to this guy. We're not doing the crust thing tonight. Knock it off. This one is, we're going to blow this full of holes because this shit is, this is all over Twitter. They're trying to say that Trump's a pedophile.
Have you noticed the news has been really busy lately? Lots of stories about the debate, lots of stories about whether or not Biden is fit to continue running. Some stories about Project 2025, and that's good. But you know what I haven't really seen any stories about? Did you know that a bunch of Epstein files were unsealed? And like the
Ramon says podiatry. What? What? Now you're just
messing around. Yeah, I think he's just.
Yeah, you just need to stop talking. Ramon, I haven't banned you lately, but I'm totally willing. So
G files from the original case against him in Palm Beach County. And like the OG files from the original case against him in Palm Beach County. See, a newspaper there, the Palm Beach Post, found what they believe was evidence indicating that the state attorney had maybe intentionally tanked his own case against Jeffrey Epstein. So they sued to get the grand jury files unsealed. That was back in 2019. It took 5 years to finally get a judge who says, yeah, these should be unsealed. And those files told us a lot. It confirmed a bunch of things that we had heard, like the fact that he was recruiting out of a local high school. He would offer these girls $200 for a massage, and then he would assault them during it. Then after, he'd say, oh, you know, you committed a crime here because you got...
Okay, folks, this is what's known as when you are running a hit piece on somebody as a buildup. You're going to go ahead and make the case to sound emotionally, to make an emotional argument to bring you in, which this most assuredly is terrible. And then you're going to drop it on Trump. So you're going to malign Jeffrey Epstein with Trump, and that's what he is doing. Amy, go ahead. Do you have something?
I was going to say, I've heard all these things before, but they were not attached to Donald Trump. They were attached to other people on that have been known to associate with him. I mean, and they're mostly celebrities. But so this story sounds true from what I understand, but I've never heard Trump attached to it.
Well, here we go.
You could be in big trouble. I tell you what, why don't you go back to your high school and find more girls, and for every one you send my way, I'll give you another $200. It also makes it look like that state attorney did tank his own case. He could have brought charges against Epstein himself. Instead, he opted for a grand jury where his prosecutors blamed the victims, treated them as if they were prostitutes, said things like, you committed crimes. This is going to ruin your reputation. Literally gaslit them the same way that Jeffrey Epstein did. And that grand jury, as a result, only handed down one indictment for solicitation. But there was some other stuff that came out in those files. Do you remember just recently, Donald Trump was doing an interview with Fox News, and they asked him about declassifying several files, including Epstein files? Do you remember what he said?
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you know, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
What an odd thing to say.
Yes, Bart, that is an odd thing to say. So many of his followers
Thank you, Kevin.
are talking about...
It's not an odd thing to say. And the reason why is because fat fucks like you will go ahead and look at a flight log that has 6 flights by Donald Trump on it, ignore the flights of the other Democrats and other celebrities on here who are predominant, and go ahead and associate it with nefarious means simply because it was a chartered flight. If Donald Trump's name is there because Ghislaine Maxwell goes ahead and makes a comment about it, and then it's brought up in the case, you believe that that has some sort of guilt. What you do is you make false equivalencies, and this is what people like you do. So when Donald Trump says, you know what, I don't know, because you have to understand anyone's name that's in the Epstein files is immediately guilty by association because their name is there. It doesn't matter who it is. I want you to look at that flight log. Everyone says Tom Hanks is a pedophile. Everyone says, you know, fucking Kevin Spacey's a pedophile. They're listing everybody. Oprah's a pedophile.
Right.
Right. Well, that's neither here nor there. According to the courts, he was innocent.
Oh.
So they found him, but he also did some sexually inappropriate stuff in the States. I'm not here to defend anybody. What I'm here to say is that he can be a sexual deviant and still fly on Jeffrey Epstein's plane and not be participating. Now, Kevin Spacey, I'm not going to defend. I heard what he said, that there were girls on the plane. I don't fucking care. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about that list needs to be released, and every single one of those people need to be vetted and investigated for sure. And if Donald Trump is guilty of any of it, he should hang for it. Okay? I don't care who it is. You touch kids, you should be fucking buried under the jail. But this is why he said that, because he knows well enough that people like you will use it against everybody based upon names mentioned in the court filings.
And this whole like Hollywood elites and all of this stuff, And yet he hesitates when asked about it and then goes like, lots of stuff in there could not be true. Don't want to hurt people. Not true. Well, the files that just got released certainly paint a picture of why he may have hesitated. The newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein documents have Donald Trump's name all over them.
He looks like an evil fat ass Santa, huh? Look at his arms. Who has arms like that? The guy doesn't lift any weights. He's just fucking fat.
Yeah.
I mean, his entire fucking arm is just sagging.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't mean to hit him on his body type, but dude, seriously, bro, eat a fucking salad or something. Stop, lay off the ding dongs and Twinkies. I'm just saying.
Had been secretly disguised as Doe 174.
Oh God,
we
this
had
is
seen
so old.
stuff from this prior, and Doe 174 was mentioned a lot. And then with this unsealing, we find out Doe 174 was Donald Trump. And before I continue, I want to remind people of something. This is from 2006. This is a good 10 years before he ran for president, long before he ever talked about it seriously. This is not a political witch hunt that was going after him because he was going to.
There you go. He's telling you. Now this is what is called begging the question. This is when you go ahead and you say, like Nancy Pelosi, listen, I don't mean this to sound racist, but do you speak English? That's what he's doing. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is Donald Trump doing this, and I'm doing this, but here's why I'm going to go ahead and do that now.
In the swamp and blah, blah, blah. No, this is just the findings of the police department when they investigated this guy. We already knew that Donald Trump was all over Epstein's flight logs, although that seems to be news to Donald Trump Jr. No, your dad was on the plane, and he also brought your 11-year-old brother Eric with him on one of the flights. But the files also included a ton of missed call messages where Donald Trump had tried to call Jeffrey Epstein at home and left a message. In the good old days where a housekeeper had to take down a call message. Here's Donald Trump calling him. One of the times like 3 a.m. Some of these messages are sandwiched in between a guy who helped recruit girls for Jeffrey Epstein and one of the victims calling to set up an appointment.
Okay.
They were not
so that's that. So what you're saying is the Menendez brothers go ahead and decide to kill their parents. Eric calls Kyle, hangs up the phone, orders a pizza from Domino's, calls a 976 operator, and then goes ahead and calls Roto-Rooter to come out and fix the toilet, then calls Kyle again. Domino's Pizza, Roto-Rooter, and 976 are all conspiracy to commit murder just because they're in between and bracketing those phone calls. That is a fucking another false equivalency. You are assigning supposition and conjecture. If you were in a court of law, he would say, sit the fuck down, shut up, eat a fucking salad, fatty, and be quiet. And not so many words. Of course, Donald Trump. Now, remember this. There was no one has ever said that Donald Trump and Epstein did not have a relationship. Just like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton had a relationship with Epstein. Just like thousands of people had relationships with Epstein in Hollywood. Of course. But out of all of those people, the only person to kick Epstein off their property, ban him from the property the way he treated employees at Mar-a-Lago, and the rumors that Donald Trump heard, was Donald Trump. The only one to actually have state's evidence provided by his testimony and affidavit was Donald J. Trump. If you're going to sit here and tell me that Donald Trump is a pedo or a pedo simply because he associated with Epstein at any given time, as he has done with thousands of people, then Bill Clinton needs to be rounded up because he was on the fucking flight like 76 times to his island. Every celebrity needs to be rounded up. The money given from Epstein to the Clintons, they need to be rounded up. Joe Biden needs to go ahead and be investigated and arrested for his daughter's accusations in Ashley's diary. If you want to play this game and you want to go ahead and do 6 degrees of separation to delusion, we can do this. But this guy is completely full of dog shit. And you're fucking dangerous, dude, because you have a platform and you're espousing shit that is all you as you jerk off to the JCPenney catalog and get past your fucking stomach when you sit on the toilet and masticate yourself. Come up with these horrible fucking accusations with zero proof. There is a reason why I do this job, because I fucking hate people like you. And it's on the right and left, the fucking Qers and the blue and on. You all are batshit crazy, delusional fucking idiots. You deserve to be castrated, your tongue removed so you cannot talk anymore, and your fucking fingers removed so you cannot type. Because you literally make people dumber for having listened to you.
They were not just.
Was that too harsh, Amy? Do you think did I go overboard?
No, I thought, this kind of person, maybe this video specifically, although he's not really giving any concrete facts, so it's kind of hard to rebuttal. I guess you wouldn't call it facts anyway, but he's not really giving actual information. So you can say like, okay, well, here's what he's saying. So let's actually do the deep dive into this, get the actual factual information to prove him wrong. And I don't know, I can't stand people like this either. It's so freaking frustrating.
Dude, here, okay. All right, I'm going to take the emotion out of it. Let's just do what I always do. I want you to go ahead and let's do it like a lie or a fart in a car, okay? I can smell lies like a fart in a car. So here I am. I'm going to disprove this, okay? Ready? Everyone good? Good. Right, here we go. Donald Trump was investigated for $37 million by Robert Mueller, who literally had to dive into people who did business with Donald Trump 12 years ago and put them in fucking prison because he couldn't find anything on Trump. He couldn't get anything on Trump. And Russian collusion, hold on, caller, we'll get to you in a second. Collusion was a hoax, right? So we heard all this shit. They got him on the Stormy Daniels shit. They got him on E. Jean Carroll shit, all civil. Now they're trying to get the documents case pushed away. They get the J6 case pushed away. They get the Georgia voter fraud pushed away because it's all bullshit. You're telling me if Donald J. Trump, they had evidence that he was a kid toucher, do you fucking really think that this isn't going to be on every front page, every news station, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and Joe, I touch Ashley and shower with my daughter Biden, making commercials, destroying him? Because if you can link him to being a kid toucher, that's what they're trying to do now. It is a failure. It is a social media failure. No major media station is picking this up. And the reason why is because it's bullocks. It's been going on for fucking 4 years. I've disproven it. I've shattered it. I've crushed it. And trust me when I say this, if Donald Trump was a pedo or pedo, I would fucking crucify him on this show.
Yeah.
I would crucify him because I'm a victim. Caller, who are you? What's your name? And what do you want to talk about?
Oh, hi, it's Daryl Decraft, the headliner, and
oh God,
bro, I just want
Thank you. I don't have the energy for him.
I don't. Anyone can talk, as long as you're not an idiot. So there you go. So this is how bad this is. We have taken phone calls from every walk of life, even the Jewish Nazi who had the Iron Cross under his shirt. We have taken the black guy who was one of the most racist, Malcolm X driven, BLM, Black Panther, I hate whitey guys, and he can call in again. How bad must you be that even your attempt to troll is so fucking cringe that I hang up on you before you even get a word out? Because
right.
if I believe that you could give me one viewer that would stay, I'd keep you on. People leave when you call. That's how fucking bad you are. So, Daryl, go fuck yourself. Stop calling my show.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the rest.
And work on your comedy instead of calling us. Like, that's...
Oh, God, Daryl, please, dude, seriously.
In the same social circles, they were friends who called each other and spent time together. And with these files unsealed, I see a bunch of conversations about this, as if this was part of it. But this isn't new. This has been around since 2016, when a woman filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, claiming that she was one of Epstein's victims.
she filed 2 suits, and she dropped the first claim and was completely found to be erroneous. Then she filed a second one when he ran in 2016. Sounds like E. Jean Carroll's daughter. And then dropped the suit. Later, like Stormy Daniels saying, well, I said it didn't happen and I made it up. But then I recanted that when I realized I could make some money and sell a couple fucking books. So I went ahead and said that I felt threatened and intimidated by Donald Trump. So I didn't do it. This is the case he's talking about, which has been proven false. Fucking Snopes said it was proven false. They didn't even say mostly true. They didn't even say kind of true. They didn't even say mostly peaceful. They just said false.
And at the age of 13, they assaulted her. Now, you can either pause and read this, or I will post these images to my Instagram.
Dude, you got a 6-minute and 40 video. Just fucking add it. It'll take 30 seconds for you to read it. I mean, you're putting everybody on the hook, so you get clickbait. So you're going to stick it on your show, and you're going to send people to your website so you can go ahead and sell them a fucking T-shirt. That's one thing I don't do. Oh my God, I can't wait. You're on the Don't Unfriend Me show.
People in the chat.
So that was good. If you call from 4 different phone numbers, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Well, phone lines are off. That's how easy it is.
Give enough of a trigger warning, because what you will read here is horrific. And I should point out,
you know what, Daryl, call back. Daryl, call back. You can come on the show. You can call back. I'll wait for you. Here, I got you on. You can call back. Come on the show. We'll watch this, and then you can call. I won't hang up on you this time. I promise. I will not hang up.
13, and this happened to her. Donald Trump's daughter was also 13. But back in 2016, people dismissed her claims as false because she dropped the lawsuit just days before the election. She did so, according to her attorney, because she was receiving hundreds and hundreds of death threats. And in light of other things that have happened since January.
All right. So, Daryl, here's your chance, Daryl. You get your 5 minutes of fame. What do you want to talk about? Daryl, go ahead. You're on live. What do you want to talk about? Your 5 minutes of fame are starting now.
Well, I usually get more than 5.
All right. Oh, you fucking idiot.
I believe her. Remember
the oldest trick in the book. How could you fall for that, dude? Seriously. God. You're a comedian. You're supposed to be able to roast me. It's not supposed to work the other way around.
Right. The state attorney had dropped the ball. The Palm Beach Police Department felt that way too. They contacted the FBI, and there was a federal case brought against Jeffrey Epstein. And in 2000,
now you're going to go ahead and you're going to put the 2 slices of butt sandwich together. The first slice was the preparatory. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the most horrible, horrific things. Now I'm going to slightly introduce Donald Trump in the middle with no facts, all supposition, all conjecture. And now I'm going to put the other end of the butt sandwich together by telling you some other horrific things. And somehow at the end of this video, you're going to malign Trump with all of it. Wow.
That's when he received what many called the deal of the century. He got 1 felony solicitation and 1 felony enticing a minor out of so many victims and so many potential charges. He got 18 months in jail, only served 13. He was on work release and was out of prison 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Oh, and that deal of the century, the one that let Jeffrey Epstein basically get away with it, and then he continued harming children after he served his time, that was all handled by Alexander Acosta. And you know who he is? He's the guy that Donald Trump made his labor secretary when he was in office.
Oh, my God.
The guy who let Jeffrey Epstein get away with it, harm more children, Donald Trump brought on as the labor secretary. Guess what? There's other cases against Jeffrey Epstein. There's other files that could be released, but this guy ain't releasing them. This guy ain't putting them out there, and if you paid attention to this video, you understand why.
Oh, yeah. I totally understand why. What I don't understand is why you left out the context that the federal case overruled the state case, and that's why the state's attorney didn't go ahead and fucking move charges forward. But you're such a fat fucking idiot. CPD, dude, can't act quick enough. Eat more Twinkies, please, for the love of God. I just want to get the news in the paper, right? You know? Fuck, I'm serious, dude. It's a federal case. It's a federal. Do you understand what federal cases mean? Do you understand that they seal state records until the federal indictments are over? Do you understand that the Ghislaine Maxwell case took precedence over this because he was dead? So please understand that I will never defend Epstein and I will never defend an apologist. But until you have a credible witness that says that Donald Trump, and you're telling me the Democrats haven't tried, you're telling me through back channels they haven't put up $1 million reward for anyone who has evidence of Donald Trump fucking a kid, and you believe that people are so star-spangled awesome. They found a Billy Bush recording from like 1960 fucking 2, but they can't find a kid fucker? More Twinkies. Stat. Eat a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, he basically said it all at the end of his video when he said, oh crap, he said something to he's basically Nancy Pelosi there. Like, if you haven't been paying attention, then you won't, something like that. If you're paying attention, then you'll see it too. So it's like, if you're not stupid, you'll believe.
Right.
If you are stupid, you'll believe.
That's what Evelyn just said. Evelyn, she goes, Matt, you should have asked Daryl if he understands English.
Oh.
So listen, I shouldn't go after this guy's looks. But what you're doing is 10 times worse, right?
You gotta have a filter on too, right? Like, he looks so plasticky in his face.
Dude, okay, a beard is not... You look like Gimli from Lord of the fucking Rings. I mean, seriously, I want to throw you an axe and a fucking sterling silver tin cup. I understand this is who you are. I understand that you saw the Zigzag Man and you decided to go ahead and replicate him to the best of your ability. That's fine. But what you don't get to do is hit Donald Trump on the shit that's made up. It's just as bad as the Blue Anon. It's just as bad as QAnon. It's just as bad as secret bioweapon labs and lizards and fucking flat earthers and the Illuminati. And you need to stop. When you people don't help the conversation move forward, what you do is distract people from finding out the truth. And there are things that Donald Trump has done that you can hit on that you should. There's many things. You can hit him on the vaccines. You can hit him against the Second Amendment. You can hit him against tariffs. There's a lot of things you can hit on Donald Trump, that lockdowns, whether people agree with it or not. He put Fauci in charge. He gave Fauci a fucking medal. He gave him a Medal of Freedom. Donald Trump made mistakes. I'm sorry. Hit him on that. But don't make shit up. Right? And just be, and Epstein, what you do is you trivialize the child sex trafficking and the current predators that are out there right now by not addressing that this administration has done absolutely nothing to quash child sex trafficking. In fact, the entire Republican Party and liberal party decided to go ahead and what was the guy's name? The actor, not Menzel.
Oh, yeah. I don't know his name, but I don't know his name.
It's like Percival or something. I can't remember his name, but
if he said it, I wouldn't even remember. But I do know who you're talking about.
What was the name of the show he did?
Sound of Freedom.
Right, Sound of Freedom. If someone's going to put it down. You guys completely said that this guy was a cure and child sex trafficking wasn't a big deal. Dude, go read the 97 fucking counts of child sex trafficking against Disneyland, Florida, Disney World.
Yeah.
And that there was a pedo ring inside of Disneyland.
Yep.
Give me a break. Yeah, for you guys to sit here and believe that this is not a problem, that this isn't a huge problem, that 2 out of 3 children in America are sexually assaulted by a loved one or a neighbor or someone they know. This is dangerous. You've got people on this panel who have been victim of this. You've got people in chat who've been victim of this. It's not acceptable. Mel says, Matt, off topic. Do you remember the gun store owner that came on your show? You pulled up a picture of his store. You can let me know later. Yeah, I do, but I don't remember anything about him. It's been too long. But yeah, I remember. I can go back and look. I told everyone to follow him, so maybe they did. Okay. Enough of this guy. So he's done. I feel bad about Daryl, but whatever. Daryl, if you donate $50 to the show, I'll let you come on.
For 5 minutes.
It's called Dick Tax. It's called Dick Tax. $50 to the show. You'll pay your dick tax. I'll give you 5 minutes on the show.
And that should be nothing for him because he's a traveling comic, right? So
that's right. I mean, and we know how much they make.
Followers.
Oh, they make such good money. Such good money. Linktapgo.com/the show, folks. Donations are pretty slow tonight. Happens. Olivia's going to make fun of me and mock me and ridicule me. So thank you so much. But
don't let that happen because I'm on. So then I'll feel like guilty by association. So
yeah.
Please.
The interesting thing is that the people who try to malign others with pedophilia, it's kind of like veterans that tell you all about their kills and how many times they've been deployed and, you know, the secret missions that they can't tell you about. Usually did none of it. And were ridiculed mercilessly because they didn't do anything. If someone's trying to sell you that another person is a pedo or a pedo or whatever the fuck you want to call it, more than likely, they're not really interested in stopping pedophilia. They want to hurt somebody and malign them with pedophilia. Those people usually have a fixation with it.
Yeah.
If you take a look at Ted Bundy, you take a look at serial killers like Ramirez, you take a look at, the Night Stalker, they all had one thing in common. They would leave breadcrumbs and trails towards other people to throw them off their own trail, even in discussions. This is something that's fairly common. If this guy has latched on to this, there's a reason for it. Because either A, it's true, or B, he's saying it out of another reason. And psychologically speaking, people project when they don't have evidence, they don't have proof, they will go ahead and say horribly dangerous things that they fear themselves. Am I saying that this guy's a pedophile? No. But am I saying that when you accuse someone of pedophilia and you don't have any proof, your intentions might have hidden and underlying meanings, is my point. Okay.
Good point.
Donald Trump has challenged Joe Biden to a game of golf.
They're considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses.
Here it is. Not only does he plug his golf course, this is great. Listen to this. This is so reflective of what I did with Kyrie last night.
So officially challenging Cricket Joe to an 18-hole golf match right here.
Kathleen, I'm so very, very sorry to hear that. There's a show that I'm going to link to you when I went ahead and talked about my story about what happened to me. It's a show I think I rebroadcast it once, but you should give it a watch. And it's been seen by over 1 million people. It's probably the one video that I've done that actually is worthwhile. So you should watch it. I'll pull it up for you. It's 284. Olivia knows what it is, but we'll find it for you.
Underal's Blue Monster, considered one of the greatest tournament golf courses anywhere in the world, one of the great courses of the world. It will be among the most watched sporting events in history, maybe bigger than the Ryder Cup or even the Masters. And I will even give Joe Biden 10 strokes aside. 10 strokes.
That's 20 strokes.
That's a lot. That means 20 strokes in case you don't play golf. I will give him 10 strokes aside, and if he wins, I will give the charity of his choice, any charity that he wants, $1 million.
Wow.
So
if Biden says no to that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think Biden's response was to it? What do you think Biden said?
That they would have to pull their own golf carts. Golf bags, right? No caddies. They have to carry their own bags.
Yeah, he said that during the debate and before, but that's Joe Biden is in a perpetual state of just reliving whatever he can hold on to. But I'm going to show you what he said, and I'm hopefully it doesn't take over our screen. Statement on Donald Trump's challenge. Donald Trump. Fuck. I hate getting old. You know, I have two pairs of glasses now, one for my phone and one for here.
Oh,
I have two. I'm just getting, you know, I could hit any target 350 yards with iron sights. Now, fuck. The good thing is my distance vision is perfect. It's just I get headaches now. Oh,
Yeah,
it's horrible.
my kids and I were playing I Spy, and I couldn't see what they were looking at, and they're like, "It's right there," and I'm like, "There's
Right.
nothing red on that
Right.
bulletin board." They're like, and I had
Yeah.
to get up 20 feet closer. I'm like, "Oh shit, there is something red on that."
I'm like,
bulletin
I spy fuzz. And the funny thing is I can't wear contacts because my eyes are too dry.
Yeah.
So it sucks. And, you know, then they get all mucusy because my eyes are dry. So I've tried everything. And so I have to have glasses. So I have to wear glasses mid-range. So I got computer glasses and they don't work from here to here. And
Get a
I have to be
monocle.
like, fuck you, Amy. Donald Trump hasn't been seen in public for 12 days. Now he's inviting fictional serial killers to dinner. Marco Rubio praising Project 2025 architect Tom Homan. Okay. We had challenged Donald Trump to create jobs, but he lost 3 million. We had challenged Donald Trump to stand up to Putin, but he bent the knee to him. We would challenge Donald Trump to follow the law, but he breaks it. We had challenged Donald Trump to not destroy our country, but that's all his Project 2025 aims to do. Joe Biden doesn't have time for Donald Trump's weird antics. He's busy leading America. Donald Trump is a liar, a convict, and a fraud, only out for himself, par for the course. Sounds like he's fucking scared to me. Guess he's kind of afraid to show that 6 handicap. Yeah, right. 6
Right?
handicap my fucking ass.
Isn't Tiger Woods? Didn't somebody say that his was like even higher than that? Like, I don't know, but that's crazy. But he said during the debate that he would play him, but they had to carry their own golf bags. He's like, you got to bring your own bag. Which is
You know what?
dumb.
You know what I would do? See, this is why I understand the language, folks. I clean up very well. You can hire me. I won't embarrass you. I ran, if I can do it for 25 years in the corporate world and bite my tongue working for Apple and Comcast, trust me, I can do it here. Joe Biden should do one thing. Joe Biden should simply say, Donald, I don't have time to play golf. And when I'm retired after beating you after 4 years and we both have nothing to do, I would love to play in golf. And we can do that. But right now, how about we do this? How about we both write a check for $250,000 to our best charities? And that's what we should do. We both can afford it. And we'll write a $250,000 check to our favorite charities. You know what that would have done to Donald Trump? Do you understand how that would have crushed Donald Trump's attempt? And it would have changed the news cycle.
Right.
But instead, Biden became petulant like a little fucking turd. And he's so bad at what he does that he makes Trump look magnanimous and go, you just failed $1 million to a charity because you're too proud to play Trump in golf. It's a master stroke. I told you last night, whether Trump, he wins or he loses. If he plays Biden and wins, he looks strong and Teddy Roosevelt-ish. If he loses, he looks like Jimmy Carter and magnanimous and a philanthropic genius. He can't lose. Biden just lost and he fucked it up. And he had several ways to make this good and he didn't. And he chose the one that made him look like a complete dick. Go ahead, Ames.
Wait, the thing that you just put on the screen, was that a real thing released from Joe Biden in the White House? Like they actually put this out?
It's from the Biden-Harris campaign.
I thought it was like a joke or something. Like
No.
I really did not think this was real.
It's real.
Who is telling him that it's okay to put these things out there? Or does he even know that this is out there? Do you think he's aware of it? Or you think
I don't think Joe Biden knows what the fuck is going on. I don't think Joe Biden knows what day it is. I think he is on autopilot. I think a lot of people have said Parkinson's.
I heard
It
that
doesn't
too
matter.
today.
Listen, Joe Biden is a lot of things. But he's a man with pride, at least. He at least has pride. And I got to give him that. He's a prideful person. And I don't think that the younger Joe Biden and the middle-aged Joe Biden, it's okay. Let's have a real conversation. My father was estranged from me for a few reasons. My mother was estranged from me because my mother is a toxic, evil human being. Now, when I say that, you might go, oh, well, she said some mean things to me. No. She is a toxic, evil, narcissistic psychopath and purposely tried to harm her children from this high all the way to adulthood, tried to cause divorce, separation, tried to destroy family units, told my uncle and aunt that I was a drug dealer and my wife was a prostitute. They didn't talk to us for 30 fucking years. She's never seen her grandkids. We were down in the bottom of the driveway to bring our grandkids, and she said, no, I refuse to see them. She tried to break up. She invited my ex-fiancé to Christmas dinner when Olivia and I were first there, our 1-year anniversary together, to meet my parents. And she invited the ex-fiancé and said, I like Darcy. I don't like Olivia. My mother is a horrible human being. And I can't even begin to tell you, from the beatings to the psychological abuse to the drug abuse that she passed on to everyone in our family. My dad sat around and watched it all. And at any time, he could have stopped it and got us the fuck out of there, but he was never present. He was a workaholic, and I love him for it because he did amazing things and got us out of debt. But when it came down to it, he didn't want kids. He didn't love the family. He idolized my sister. He despised my brother, and he always wanted greatness from me, but until I reached it, he wouldn't appreciate or respect me. He was verbally abusive. He was physically abusive, and he was the smartest man I've ever met in my life. Hands down. But I cut my father out of our lives for a reason. Because he would not be a grandfather to my kids. And I refuse to allow him to be in my life anymore because he was harming my children. The same reason why my mother was ostracized. The same reason why my sister and brother-in-law can't go fucking 200 feet within my kids, can't call my kids because they are a danger to my children. However, after my dad's last stroke, I was told by several people to talk to him, that he wasn't the same man, that he didn't have his memory, that he doesn't know why Maddie doesn't call him anymore, and he wants to hear from his son. And my decision was, if he doesn't remember the bad, I'm not going to bring it up to him because he deserves to be free of it. Because everyone deserves forgiveness. But I don't need to forget it. And because he'll never remember it, I don't think I can have that conversation without bringing it up again and bearing my soul as to why those things happen. And he'll just forget again tomorrow. So I stayed out of his life. And it became, is Matt going to call today? Versus my son hates me because of the things that I've done. And honestly, he wasn't the same guy, but I was not going to compromise my morals and the things that I established and the restrictions I put on place to go ahead and just because he had a stroke and was altered from a chemical standpoint in his brain and damage to his brain, that somehow that man was the same person that I loved and deserved my reparations of relationship. Joe Biden is not the same young man that he was, a plagiarist, racist cocksucker. And as a middle-aged person who was also racist, a plagiarist, and did nothing for America, there is no doubt in my mind that Joe Biden is not the same guy that was on stage calling everyone fascist 2 years ago. Joe Biden is now detached from reality. And honestly, he's cantankerous and cranky because of the disease that he has. And he's not the same guy. And whatever he does now is not indicative and reflective of the person he used to be. And it doesn't fucking matter to me. I am not going to forgive Joe Biden for who he has been for 48 years simply because a situation is now deserves my kindness and my affability. No. And anyone who sits here and apologizes for Joe Biden is guilty of the same thing. You can forgive, never forget. That's my take on it. It's a long one. I apologize. Amy, what's yours?
Ditto. Except for all the family stuff. I can't relate to that. Thankfully for me, I feel bad for everything you went through. That's got to be terrible. And Joe Biden, I don't feel any different about him either. I've never been a fan of his. I don't think ever, like ever. I don't think he's been a great leader, as he mentioned in that little press release commentary, whatever that was. I think he's been a terrible leader. I think he's a terrible person in his heart, but I don't know for sure, but he comes across that way. I don't want him running. I mean, I actually do want him to run again. I don't want him to win the presidency again, but I also do have compassion for him as an elderly person. I think he should be allowed to retire. Like, I hope he runs and I hope he loses and I hope he can go spend the rest of his days in Rehoboth looking for his beach chair.
Yeah. I think it's fair. We have a caller on Rumble who wants to call in. Please call in.
Awesome.
The phone lines are open. I just opened them back up. Daryl calls. We'll hang up on him. But would love to have you on. I unless you have to go. Olivia's not here tonight, and you get more than welcome. I'm just going to open it up just for a few more since we were a little bit late. Listen, sorry, I didn't have a stroke. I'm like very Vissel now, Mel. My fingers, the mic blocks it, and I'm pretty good at typing without looking, but my fingers were over in the wrong space, so that's why I fixed it. No, I didn't. Then I put 30 can call now, Mel. See, jeez, I'm sitting here having a stroke. I want people to understand something. In my life, I appreciate people saying they're sorry and they wish. It may be who I am. I am who I am because of the scar tissue that I have, and I'm not a victim. I did plenty of things that I could have done better with my family. I could have been more honest with my sister and brother early on about how they made me feel and made me feel insignificant and inferior. And the only reason they brought me in their life is because they wanted kids and they couldn't have them. I know they used me, and I was so desperate for my family's love that I allowed them to invade my life and almost destroy us. They almost destroyed our family. They tried to send me to prison. Yeah. They tried to send me to prison. And they are evil beyond fucking reproach.
I don't know them and I've never met them, but I'll just never forget how I felt personally. And then for you guys, when Olivia called me that one day and I'm like, what, like, I mean, our world stopped here. I'm like, what do we need? Like, tell me what to do to help. Like that was a gut wrenching day for me. I can't imagine living what you guys were living.
Yeah, it wasn't fun at all. It was evil. Caller, hopefully that isn't Daryl. You are on with us, and go ahead.
Well, it is Daryl. Oldest trick in the book.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Funny.
Got your ass. The oldest trick in the book.
Daryl, I have a question for you. When you masturbate to us, do you use your tears or do you use turtle wax because it doesn't beat up in the shower? I'm just wondering.
Stop doing my shtick. Stop doing my shtick. You're stealing my material. You're stealing my shtick. People can see it. People can see that you're doing my stuff when you say stuff like that. Don't even bother.
So
that is clearly something that I would say, and you're trying to bite from everyone.
Yeah. So is it the SSRIs just don't kick in at a certain time of night, or is it Daryl? What are you trying to accomplish? Help me understand. Let's try to understand Daryl and who you are. Let's put you on the table. Let's lay you back on the couch. Daryl, what are you trying to accomplish?
I'm trying to be bigger. I'm trying to be bigger than Kevin Hart as a stand-up. Every stand-up comic is trying to get the Hart level where we're in the stadiums and everything. That's obviously what I'm. trying for, and then
so
maybe
you
a
feel-
lucrative writing career, perhaps
You feel
perhaps
that,
a
that
few
this channel is going to
vehicles
help you
for me,
do
few
that.
vehicles for me
So
to,
are you
showcase my
always
comedy.
going to just continue the role of being full of shit, or are you actually going to have a moment where you actually say something honest? Come on, Daryl. What do you want? What do you want through life?
Just want people to love me.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
Self-love
was
is the
really
self-love is the only way to achieve true love. So
Amy says it's Harry Sisson, whatever his name is, Sisson, whatever his name is. That's
well, what's funny is that, first of all, when you say oldest trick in the book,
yeah.
you walked into mine, and if you think that I didn't know you went over to Rumble, I mean, come on, dude. I was born at night, but not like we don't get a lot of callers here because I forget to open the phone lines pretty much 90% of the time. So, Daryl, I appreciate you. It would be nice if you actually demonstrated some sort of redemptive qualities. I would just love to know why you're calling, but we'll never know. Last one for the night. Besides Joe Biden, it's not even funny. Like that's what I struggle with. Like
it's pathetic. It's sad.
If it was funny, I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, let's keep calling in, dude. This is great. This is great. But it's not even funny. Like insult me or do something. Like make a point that puts me in a position where I have to somehow be awkward on my own show. But it's just like, it's not even fun. And how bad must you be that I don't even want to keep you on because people don't like this guy. And the first thing they say is, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah. He's not funny. I don't know Daryl at all. And maybe his last sentence to us is true. Maybe he just wants someone to love him, but he's going about it the wrong way. And I don't know. Maybe comedy isn't for you. Maybe take some psychology classes. Just thinking.
I just think I just think you should find another show because I'm sure your shtick is
try Dominic is a show.
Yeah, Izzo would love you. I mean, and if you take the proverbial shtick out of your posterior. This is Ben Shapiro, and he is confronted by a white woman. Fucking shocking. A white liberal woman. God, Daryl, do me a favor. Go ahead, Daryl. Send me an email, and I'll go ahead and send you a personal pic with my autograph on it, just for you. Listen to this. This one's interesting.
How does it feel for you to poison the American public and what you've been perpetuating? Racism, white supremacy, and the genocide that is being carried out on the Palestinian people.
Okay, how does it feel to stand for Hamas? Does that feel good to you? Do you feel good standing in solidarity with a terrorist group that has murdered 1,200
I feel very good
Jews
standing in
and keeps
solidarity
people
with Palestinian people who have been murdered by Israel, by U.S. paid tax dollars and bonds, and you have continued to spew hate.
Hamas should not start a war on behalf of its citizens and then shoot its own citizens, and you stand for it, makes you a disgrace
The
to
people
human
of
dignity and
Palestine
human
have been
rights.
occupied for 75 years, and the blood is on the hands of every person in this Congress and every person who watches your propaganda of hate, white supremacy, and racism. You have been poisoning the American public for them to also be complicit in what is going on in Palestine. Shame on you and shame on every one of you who have invited them into this building.
I like that she has a t-shirt that says press on it. Like she doesn't have a pass. She is the press though. Just
go cook. Go find a man and cook him something. There's nothing wrong with cooking a good meal.
Traditional Palestinian one. Can you name any? What's it?
Yeah, I can. It's called defeat. It's one of the best. There is no Palestine, lady. There never was a Palestine. Well, for a brief period of time, there was a Palestine, but not long before there was an Israel. And I'm not going to sit here and defend Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's pissed, and like all Jews, he wants Gaza destroyed, and that's his opinion. Very similar to what we wanted from the people who put planes into the towers. Oh, it was the Jews. It was the Rothschild. Okay, fuck you. Why aren't you condemning the Sauds? 17 of them were Saudi. It's amazing how we don't hear anything about that. We hear you guys defend Muslims. What is it? I always hear this. What is it about Jews that Christians love Jews? I don't know. Why do these far-right Christian nationalists love Muslims? Because they love Jesus. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. They may acknowledge Jesus in the book, in the Quran, but that doesn't mean they love them. If you're going to take old writings to hold people accountable for who they are and the worst parts of them, then why aren't you holding people accountable for the Old Testament and holding all Christians accountable for what Jesus did? Because I'm sorry, he wasn't a nice, fluffy, loving God. He was a jealous God who repudiated human beings. And if you're going to sit here and say that stoning of mothers and killing your brother for planting crops side by side and endorsing and condoning the ownership of human beings and the sale of your children or mother because of their sins, or killing people because they touch unclean things or the skin of a dead animal, that the New York Jets and Los Angeles Rams need to be mass murdered and put to death for touching a pigskin. Yes, I know it's a synthetic leather. Don't fucking start with me. You get my point. So if we're going to sit here and start waxing intellect about the moral imperatives and the overall quality of religion, all religion has sinned. All religion has done horrible things in its name. Every single one of them. So I'm sick and tired of hearing that Jews are responsible for all the evil in the world. When what is responsible for the evil in the world is the weakness of men. And that includes women and men. And it doesn't matter the race, color, creed, sexual disposition, religion, ideological practices. Men are sinners and they care about power and they slake for the lust of power. And if you're going to associate that with one religion, you're being a fucking hypocrite, including defending Christianity and condemning Judaism.
Yeah.
That's my end for the night.
I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I don't understand the persecution against the Jewish people. I really don't understand it at all. I feel like I know it's more history than probably the average person, but I don't know. I'm not as well versed as like someone who studies that history in the region. I mean, the Middle East history is so convoluted. There's so many layers. It's hard to understand. At any point in time, there's still, and it depends on where you're getting the history information from, which country, it's just a lot of convoluted stuff, but I still don't understand why Jews are so hated. I personally think they're great people. All the ones I know are like absolutely amazing. I don't know. They are not Christians, or Catholic. I'm a Catholic. Sorry, Christian people. But I'll tell you, I've known a lot of Jews in my life, and I actually really enjoy like their religion. I enjoy learning about I've been to synagogue a few times. I've been to bat mitzvahs. I've done all of those things, and I never felt put out because I was not Jewish. It was always like, welcome, eat the food, come and celebrate with us. Like, they're good people. They want good for the world. They just want to live their life, and they live it well. And that's not a reason to hate someone. I mean,
I've spent a lot of time studying Judaism. I've studied a lot of time Middle Eastern history. And the only thing I can come up with of studying thousands of years of history, living in the culture, eating the food of Muslims and Jews, Shiites, Sunnis, sitting across from people who wanted to do harm to anyone who wasn't of Muslim faith. It's because the passing of time and what can be unburdened is truly the only answer I've come up with. And I find my answers within Kamala Harris, and God willing, she will be the next president of the United States, so we can unburden more things
what could
together.
be.
What could be.
Unburden.
the passing of time could be unburdened. I stole it from Tina
By
Savage.
what has been.
By what has been. She goes, it's because of the passing of time and what can be unburdened. And it reminded me of Kamala.
Yeah.
I snorted. Oh, God, it's so funny.
Oh.
Amy says, why are Catholics not Christians? I never heard of that. I grew up Catholic and thought of myself as a Christian.
Amy, I'm with you. I just found out this year that.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Is Dominic Izzo in chat? I can't see him. Where the fuck is Izzo? Is he on Facebook? Because everyone's talking about it. I can't see anything from. Hold on.
I can't search.
Oh yeah, he is. He's all over the place.
Oh.
Dom is talking about Jesus. Oh my God. Dominic's over here making sexual comments. I can't take him anywhere. Whatever. Hey, at least he's in chat. Welcome, Dom. Dom's talking about spanking and whips and shit. So,
I missed all of that. He must be. Is he on a different platform? Because I can't see
no,
it.
I don't know. There's certain things I can't see. The whole thing about Christians and Catholics is I think people I'm going to say this, and it doesn't mean it's necessarily true, but here's my gut instinct. I think there's been a lot of negative press on Catholicism.
Oh yeah.
And from the sexual predation to people not forgetting about slavery and the Catholic Church condoning slavery, from the persecution of the LGBTQ community through the Catholic Church, the donations by the Catholic Church that are really antithetical to Christian teachings, that Christians are supposed to be inclusive and loving. Whether it's Catholics tend to take the extreme sides of most things. And I think Christians want to disassociate themselves from that. Standard Christians as not being so, there's secular and non-secular ways to believe. And I think Catholics tend to fall on the side of extreme secularism and have false prophets and idols and the way that they worship and the blood of Christ is a little strange to regular Christians.
They're not. I understand what you're saying, but the Catholic, we don't feel that way. We don't feel like they're idols or false prophets. I mean, we believe in Jesus. We believe. I mean, our Bible is actually different than it's a Catholic Bible, so it's slightly different. But I didn't
say those things, Amy. I didn't say those things are mine. I'm telling you what I believe people think. Okay.
Oh.
I didn't say these things. I specifically said I think these reasons are why Christians have separated themselves from Catholicism is because they do believe that if you wear a pendant of a saint, that's a false idol, that you are worshiping a false idol, that sacramental wine and confession and confessing to a man and kneeling before somebody and taking a wafer, these things are extreme. That's what. Okay, let me change what I just said. I believe some of these things.
Yeah.
I think some of those things are why I struggle with recognizing Catholic as a normal, everyday town, go to church, worship God, come home, and it stops there. Where I believe Catholicism is you have to give everything to the church. And I don't know if Christians think that. Now I'll shut up and I'll let you talk.
I mean, tithing is in the Bible. It's in there. I don't know. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's maybe 10 times that I recall. That could be more. It's not in there a terribly ton amount. But tithing is mentioned in the Bible several times. And Catholics do believe that you should tithe. It specifically says 10% in the Bible. So that's what you're asked to give. It's not a requirement to attend church or anything like that. I also like that when you do tithe, especially with our church, they post it every year. You get a printout of everything that your tithing has gone to, how much money the church has been given, every donation, what it's gone to for the church and other charities that we also give to. We give to different, every mass is dedicated to something different or a different family or a different person. The idol thing, I don't know. The saints, man, There's so much I could say. I think saints are wonderful. I really do. I didn't used to when I was a kid, but now I
But do you
really
think
do.
it's okay to worship and pray to them? Because they do.
We don't worship saints. We don't worship saints.
That's not true. That's emphatically false.
No, we don't. I mean, God is our God. God is the only God that we worship, and saints are like to equate it to someone who doesn't like believe in all this stuff, like all this stuff. I say it's kind of like your dad can be God, and then you have your all his brothers and sisters who are like the aunts and uncles, and you really need help with something, but your dad's busy, so you go to your uncle who's like really good with fixing cars. You're like, hey, can you look at my carburetor, or is that a thing? I don't know, and tell me how
Not
I
yes
can go about
anymore.
fixing it. I don't
Right,
know.
but if you wear a pendant, you wear a pendant around your neck for a saint, and
I don't have mine
patron
on now,
saint
but
of patron saint of lost causes, and people will kiss that and say a prayer. That's not praying to patron saint.
I pray to saints all the time. I do believe in the power of sainthood. I do believe that a saint essentially is like God's right hand man. So if you need something like urgently and you're praying to God, yes, God may urgently answer you, but I feel like if you are praying to a saint, they have less on their plate. So they are absolutely able to get things done. I have prayed to Saint Michael. I can't tell you how many times.
Okay, so I was
And I've
right. But I just said prayer is a form of worship.
I'm not worshiping the saint. I'm asking for
Is
help
prayer
and guidance.
is prayer a form of worship or not?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you pray,
Okay.
you give.
So how do
Personally, I
you
don't
worship?
think that.
How do you worship God?
I give up my life to God, right? Like everything I do is to be a good person, to talk, to bring God and Jesus into everyone's life as much as I can, and to do right by what is expected of us as, I know we're not Christians, Catholics, I guess. I hate saying that.
I don't.
now.
Okay. I want to be clear. I didn't say this.
No, I know you didn't.
I said I struggle with all organized religion. I think all organized religion is a detriment to society. I believe organized religion has done great things for society, but they've also done horrific and horrible things and hid behind the church in the name of God for men's iniquities. Every church has. I'm not saying that you're not Christian. I'm asking questions because there are some things in the Catholic religion that are very
hard
different
for most
than.
people,
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. Prayer is a form of worship. Of course, prayer is a form of worship. When you're in church and you bow your head to pray, that's a form of worship.
I think there's different types of prayer too, right? If you're praying to a saint, I think most of the time when you're praying to a saint, and this is from my personal experience, I can't speak for anyone else anywhere, but when I'm praying to a saint, I'm asking for something. I'm asking for help with something specific because there's a saint for everything. So I'm asking for something specific. If the battles I've had to fight, I pray to Saint Michael constantly because he helps keep me strong and helps me to fight and win against the evil that's in my life. So I love him. If I'm praying to God, I'm usually giving thanks to God for all that he has blessed me with and for the ability to have other people to help me and guide me through this life. Because God's amazing.
Do you think Jesus Christ has risen? Do you think I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the point of the conversation. Do you think he's risen and Christ died for the sin of men? Okay, well then you're a Christian.
I'm not allowed to. I'm just joking. I'm really joking with you. I'm the one that brought this up.
Right, but there's some people who aren't. Ramon is saying you're wrong. Of course, Ramon's always you wrong, Matt. Yeah. Well, you're too afraid to come on the show and tell me why. So you're wasting my time, Ramon.
I brought this up a few weeks ago because someone had told me, "You're a Catholic. You're not a Christian," and I'm like, "It's the same thing. I'm Christian. We believe this. We believe the same exact thing, right? This is what it is. I mean, Christians believe in saints as well. They don't have the same." I guess respect, I would say, for the saints that maybe Catholics do. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. But
do you think that Christ died for our sins, and he has risen. I can't. Well, fuck, I can't stand that improper
He is
English.
risen.
It is proper. No, it's not. It's not proper.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is
You have
he
to
is jump.
understand the nuance.
He is jump. He is he. So
He
do you?
is,
Can you
like,
answer the
he
question? Do you
currently
believe?
is.
Okay, I don't care. Do you believe that Christ is risen? That he died for our sins? That's the question.
Yes.
Okay, then you are a Christian. How you worship is weird.
I
But
accept that.
but all worship is all worship is kind of weird when it's not done between you and your God.
Yeah.
I think public prayer is fine. I think going to church is fine. I think going around and worshiping God and reading the Bible and the hymns and singing. I think if you want to take communion, fine. If you want to confess, that's fine. But I don't think any of it's necessary except for your relationship with you and the Word of God, and then how you express that relationship with God in your own way. And if you need church for that, great. What I have a problem with is the church dictating doctrine. And there is a difference between worship and belief and doctrine. And I take umbrage with all churches. So I will die on that hill that I will never say that a Catholic is not a Christian. If you believe that he is risen.
Because it's a current thing. Like is currently happening.
You
and
can't
he
be
is
risen.
currently in
Can you be
heaven.
can you be jumping?
Yeah, you can be jumping.
So you're perpetually in the air, huh? He rose. He rose. Okay? He's alive. He's no longer risen. That action has been no.
I
That
get what
is
you're
over.
saying.
It's no. It's because I'm right. It's over.
Jesus
he rose.
is.
It's done. It's in the past. He's done. He's not risen. He's not. I'm still risen. I'm riding with Biden. No, the ride's over. You rode with Biden, and now you're in another perpetual state of being. He's risen. Now he's the embodiment of God, the Spirit, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and all that. And he's up there. When people are like, he is risen, I'm like, we know.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I want to answer a question really quick from Dodie, not Dottie.
It's Dodie. Happy birthday, Dodie.
She asked why you would pray to the Virgin Mary and not Jesus. And for me personally, I do pray to Mary a lot. I think she's the mother of Jesus. So she's like obviously the best mother ever to have. I mean, God chose her to be Jesus's mom. So what more loving, more gentle, kind. I mean, she had to be the most amazing person besides Jesus. I feel that she had to just be like this amazing mom. So I pray to her a lot when I need help with questions about being a mom. Am I doing this right? Am I raising my kids the right way? How should I handle this? I pray to her a lot for those reasons as a mom. Or if you don't have a mom, that's great. Or you need a more guy. If you need a mom, I call my mom. But when I need help with my kids, I do pray to Mary.
So Ramon says, just because you read the NEC doesn't make you an electrician. Right. And you don't need to read the Bible to have a relationship with God.
Yeah. Or you don't need to read the Quran or anything to have, that's not.
Yes. So that doesn't make any sense. If you want to go play with your fucking control panel and step in a vat of water with a screwdriver, rock on. Okay. But you cannot read the Bible and pray and not get electrocuted to death. Okay. So this is a false equivalency. It's just what Izzo did with rape and what women wear. It's not even fucking remotely the same thing as someone flipping off a cop to garner a reaction. It's not the same thing. And it's a logical fallacy. So to sit here and say that you playing around with currents of electricity and amperage that can ultimately kill you is similar to reading the Bible. The cause and effect of reading the Bible is not death. It could be the quality of life, but it's not this, Ramon. This is why I don't take you seriously sometimes. I love you and I care about you and I really like you. It's hard to take seriously. You should call into the show because I think you'll represent yourself better in person. Here's what it comes down to. I don't tell you how to pray. I don't tell you what to do. I'm not insulting Catholics. I'm not a big fan of the Catholic Church, and you know why. And that's something I'm going to have to bear my demons and face those. But that has nothing to do with you. And I respect your beliefs. And I think all organized religion is weird. That's all. I think it's weird. I don't think men should wear a bunch of dresses, and God wore fucking robes that were, sorry to drop the F-bomb when I'm talking about God, but he was meek. He wasn't a prince and the pauper. He dressed himself to a point of poverty because it wasn't important. The message was love, and the message was giving, and the message was humanity. It wasn't fucking regale and staffs made of gold and funny hats and incense and incense balls flying around and dark closets where you bare your soul to another human being, and somehow that's supposed to make you forgiven. I know that sounds like I'm making fun of it. I'm just saying it's fucking weird. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it makes you not a Christian, though, because I think some things that Christians do are kind of weird too. That's all.
I think Catholics are definitely strange. I do. But I love our rituals. I love I think I can be objective about it. I didn't go to Catholic church for, 15 years. I got away from the Catholic religion, maybe longer. And I absolutely thought it was just so bizarre. And when I went to other churches, I was like, yeah, this is my jam. And then the older I got, I love like the Baptist churches. Really love those because I love all the worship music. We do not have that.
Joe
in
Biden
Catholic
does
church.
too, but he just doesn't know how to sing at those Baptist churches.
Right.
He's like,
yeah. Well, Donald Trump's doing the double thing, so
yeah.
I can't. Please don't
So
freeze
good.
that on me doing it.
Can I say something? I know. All of a sudden it's like, can I say something? This is twice now where Dom and I had an amazing conversation that could have ended a friendship. And you and I just had an amazing conversation that could have ended a friendship. And that's what this show is about. It's to have a conversation that's mutually respectful, that is not, that some of it might not be respectful, but always positive intent, that it comes from a place of kindness and love. And it's not meant to degrade. It's not meant to hurt people's feelings ever. And that's what's funny is that Dom didn't go, hey man, sorry if that got a little hot, because and neither did I, because there's no reason to. It was, hey, see you next Monday. We'll continue the conversation, have a talk. I adore you and I love you. And if there's anyone who can sell me on Catholicism, it's you, because your heart is good. And if that's all I need to know about you to say that your religion is cool and you're good with me, is because your heart is pure and you're kind and you're loving. So I don't care if you stand upside down and eat green fucking Jello while singing hymns. If that's the way you want to practice, more power to you.
God bless you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I'll pray for you. Amy, I'll pray for you. Holy shit. You really need it. Bless your heart. It's such a good... Listen.
Am I not speaking English?
Yeah. What am I fucking speaking Roman Catholicism?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh my God, am I not speaking? See, you know what's funny is that Olivia and I don't remember what show it was. I think it was after Damani, but we left. We're like, Amy is so fucking quick. And that's Stancomb and you, but you're funny. And when you just let go, you're at your best. And I will tell you, you've gotten so good at it. I remember your first time on the show. You were so nervous. And
I didn't know what the hell you wanted me on here for. I was like,
you were so nervous. And I covet our friendship. And even though we don't hang out and do barbecues, I would take a baseball bat to anyone who harmed you or your family. And I love you. You are a great human being, and you're funny. And that's what that's your that I'm funny. Like what? Like a fucking clown? I'm funny like a clown.
I love you. Yeah. Just in looks only. But
easy.
I do think we should do, I know we were just saying like, we have people over all the time. We live out in the middle of nowhere. Somehow our home is like the gathering spot, which we love. We love having people over and we love to feed people. And it's like, gosh, I'm like, I need to invite you guys over. Like you got to come over. You got to hang out. It's very casual here.
I know
like,
that.
We're not fancy.
I am struggling. Like, can I be honest with you? No, what a stupid question. Can I be honest? No. Oh, well,
I'd appreciate
fucking forget
if you
it.
just kept it like, surface level.
Everyone have a good night. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Adjusting transmitter output.
So thank you. I don't like to drive anymore. And I don't like to go out. It causes me anxiety. And I don't know why. But I think it was so many years of going out every day and mingling with thousands of people a week. And I would hit these stores and I would travel and I would fly and I think COVID fucked me up bad. But when I was like, I had to go get a job when Facebook cut us, I was like, oh my God, I got to go work. And the viewers have been so amazing because they've kept us alive. And it truly is incredible. But Olivia goes, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to go work. She goes, you're going to be gone 5 days out of the week. You're going to be working 70 hours with travel. You're never going to be home. You're going to get home Friday night late. And then you're going to have to literally check out Sunday halfway through the day, pack, get ready, check your emails, get your flight itinerary. You can't go do this again. You're 50 years old. You can't, it's not that you don't have to work. It's just, you can't go do that. You should be winding down in your career, not ramping it up. And I'm like, I got to make it. But I'll be honest, the fucking realizing that until I retire, I'm not going to be happy terrifies the shit out of me. That I have to go back and put on that fake face and be that fake person and get in that metal coffin and fly with other people in that coffin. It terrifies me. So I've gone to a point where I'm kind of like a reclamation project here, is that I'm rebuilding who I am, and I don't know who that is. And for the last year, I don't want to get in the car. I haven't gotten a fucking haircut. You know me. I get a haircut every week. I constantly make excuses not to get a haircut. I constantly made excuses not to go to the dentist or get my eyes done. And it's like I am so fucking sick of society that I've almost just withdrawn from it. And what's hilarious is that I'm on with it all the time and talking to people, but this is safe for me. Like, this feels good. Going out and doing it in person doesn't anymore. That's why I go out with Mike. You almost got to meet me where I'm at. You got to meet me at the diner. Otherwise, you won't see me. I don't know. It's weird.
I understand that completely, honestly. I stopped grocery shopping 99.9% because of the anxiety I get now. I mean, I have to be out and physically in the world for my job, and I'm out. I don't even know how many miles I drive every day. I mean, it depends on where I'm working, but I absolutely get I think that's real, and I think I have something similar, except I don't have a choice to stay home. But especially since moving out this far, I'm like, we're homebodies. Come over here, come hang out at our house. We have a great yard. We have a great house. Come over and hang out. We don't want to go out.
I got my gym here. I got my TV here. I've got great barbecue. We've got everything we need, and we're just this. This is getting emotional. So I'm sitting playing my video game. I'm playing Elden Rings now, which is fucking insane. Video games are supposed to not stress you out, but if you die in this game, you have to kind of start over. So, and it's you fight some monsters. I just came around a corner today. I'm just hopping on my goat horse. It's like a gorse is what it's called. And, I'm just, and I'm frolicking. I'm just going around and I'm looking at the lakes and the mountains because the game is fucking beautiful. And instead of doing it in real life, I'm just and I turn around a corner and there's a fucking dragon. Takes up my entire screen and lights me on fire. And I'm just dead. And I'm going, what the fuck just happened? And I got to start over. And I'm halfway across the continent. I got to run back and go and get okay.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Hayden comes out. We bought her a Kindle for her birthday. And you have no idea how exciting it is that she's reading. And I'm talking, she's putting down a book a day. She's like me. And she walks over and my chair, my lazy boy theater chair is here. And then we have a big long couch. You've seen my downstairs. And I'm sitting there and I'm playing. And she sits down and she could sit over on the other side. She could sit in her bedroom, whatever. And every morning I wake up and I'm up at 6. And she's up at 10 or 9:30. She gets up, she waddles on over because she's tired, shuffles, sits down in the chair, curls up her legs, puts the blanket on her, and leans close to me as I play my game and doesn't say a fucking word. Perfect.
Yeah.
It is
that's
the
amazing.
most beautiful and happy thing. And I look over at her like after 2 hours and I'm like, I love you. She goes, I love you too. And that's it. We don't say a word.
Yeah.
And it is perfect because she's built just like me. She doesn't need human interaction, but she covets it when she gets it and loves it and adores it. That is me to a T. So when I see you come over and you're like, here's some mulberry fucking syrup, and I'm like, awesome, and I put it all over my pancakes and it tastes like shit, and I'm like, fuck, this is horrible. And I thought I didn't know I was supposed to put it in my tea. No clue. I just thought it was like pancake syrup. Eat mulberry. That's what everyone said. So I did.
It wasn't mulberry,
and I'm like, this,
but it was close.
what, elderberry, whatever the fuck it is. It's the worst shit in the world. And I'm like, this is this is like water. But even as smart as I am, I can be stupid, right? I can be stupid too, just like everybody. That is what I remember. I remember you at my court case when nobody else showed. Those are the things that earned my internal loyalty. So when Wimkin goes to me and says, hey, you and Olivia are going to get shares in the company, and I'm like, that is the most amazing thing. Thank you. And then out of his breath while I'm ready to talk is, and we're going to go ahead and take care of Leroy and Amy because they know that's a non-negotiable. He watches the show. And whenever that offer was going to be made, you two had to be taken care of. That's how I reciprocate, not by coming over and eating barbecue. I reciprocate that way. That's what I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Yes. But you guys should come over and hang out one day.
Oh, fuck you guys. All the pressure. Why? So we can sit. Why? So we can worship false idols and I can tell you, do you speak English?
Yeah. That'll be like half of the conversation. We don't even have to talk. We just hang out. It's usually like the guys go to the one room and look at the grill or something, and then the girls, we all chat.
So sexist. Great. Sexism. Can't wait to be a part of it. So, Amy, I love you. You are the best. I always love going back to our roots, which is just you and me. Yeah. And it's always fun to do this once in a while. And I don't do it all the time, but it is nice just to have us, or like when Leroy and I are on, or it is nice to have a more relaxed setting without so much hustle and bustle. Folks, if you have not had a chance, go to linktapgo.com/thedumbshow if you like the show. You can donate, keep us on air, keep it free. We will keep going if you help us keep going. You can also pick up some shirts. The I Love Dummies shirts. Unfortunately, the sale's over, but every time we have a show, we're going to have a shirt on sale. If there's a shirt you want to see particularly you've been waiting for, let us know. Or you go over to thedumbclub.com and you can get up to 20% off if you're a gold member, 15% if you're silver. Bronze is 10% off. Go over and take a look at the Dumb Club. Go pick up some cool stuff. I am excited to announce that there is something coming. And I'm going to show you a sneak peek. Jason and I are working on it. And when I say Jason, you're like, is it smaller than a baby's arm? Jason and I are working on this. And what I mean by Jason and I are working is that Jason's doing it and I'm just doing the graphic design. Yep. Oh. This is going to be what we think is going to be the new box. And it's the box is going to be called The Republic for Which It Stands. And on both sides will be the blue and the star. And then on the front and back will be the flag. The Republic for Which It Stands. And the books that this will be coming with is Thomas Paine, The Common Sense. It'll be coming with Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin's book in regards to ethics and morals. One of those two will be coming. It's going to be a random. The second books are going to be the flag code of the flag and the Star Spangled Banner book, which will go through the entire birth of the Star Spangled Banner, the meaning of the words, the breakdown, and they're exactly the same books as the Documents of Freedom. This is a part 2 box. It's going to be a little bit more. Wood has doubled in price, as Jason let me know, and the books are a little bit more expensive because they're limited runs. But we will have this package hopefully by the end of July. We'll start taking pre-orders here soon. We'll mock it up. So I wanted to share that with y'all to get your second piece. And we're going to be doing collector pieces of this, and it's going to be happening where you can get them only here on the show, and there'll be limited runs. And so you got to get them when they're available, and we'll go from there. So that's all I've got. Amy, did you want to go out with anything?
I just never bought my Documents of Freedom box. I need to do that if it's not too late. I'm such a loser.
It's not too late. I've got 2 more left.
Oh,
and then
okay.
and then
just
they're
bring
done.
in cash for it. I'm good for it.
Just whatever. I got you. If you wanted to go ahead and use a code tonight, DUM15, if I'll extend it, you can use code DUM15 if you want to pick up something from the store. You can go do that right now. Folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking care of us. Thanks for donating. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday. I will have a recorded show. I promise you that. Recorded show. We'll also have our news articles, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock. I've got to talk to the Burn Pit and see if I can get them on this week or early next week. Dom Izzo, love you, buddy. Good to have you in here. He went to private DMs because he was getting inappropriate. Text at your own risk. Amy, thanks for being here tonight. We love you and we appreciate you.
Love you guys.
All right,
too.
everybody. Good night.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.